We are back. What up, Fight World? All in the video. Dad, come to death row. If you don't want to worry about the executive producer, all in the video, dancing. Come to death row, baby. Shout out to Marcus the Great, Cursor, Hannibal. We working. We got to talk about some things, people. I'm going to warm the mic up, let YouTube notify people. It's the Army. New media is the Army, better yet the Navy. And if you ever play a hate me, then it ain't no gravy. They got to send them notifications out there. If you in here, smash the like button. Errol Spence just started the live. Let's see what he's talking about.
Easy out here, Pete. Hey, Starlito. I ain't tripping. I get some money, trip. Bro, why everybody got my name in their mouth? Like, why don't I ask who Lil Kevin hang out with? Why don't I ask who Oreo hang out with? They want to hang out, ask who I hang out with. Table turning. No, I'm not in a relationship. Stop saying that, bro.
He said stop saying that. This is Errol Spence. He's just going live. I just got up, popped up.
You stay hating on me, man. And I ran today. I ran like 7 miles today. I'm in shape. I'm still in shape. I can still see my abs and everything.
Damn, he ran 7 miles.
Yeah, my partner Oreo. Like, everybody would ask, like, niggas get mad because I might hang out with somebody. Like, oh, why you hang out with this dude? Or this dude friendly. Like, that's gay, bro.
Arrow funny. Listen, we got to talk about it. Someone said, Brandon, who? Who? Puffy. I read your interview. All that peace talk. I don't care if you kiss my ass from here to across the street, boy. It's so. Shout out to Cursor. Yeah, man, we're going to talk about it. I'm just waiting for the people to show up. You know, YouTube has to notify people that we're on. They're going through little YouTube's a great platform. You know, I got my start on YouTube. Shout out to them. But there's a couple things as a creator I wish they would correct. Like, there's been some things, like, as far as, like, the Creator Studio app and stuff that they should have integrated that you could do on the desktop that you can't do on the Creator Studio. And then they'll change stuff that people aren't really tripping off having you change. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll, like, make modifications to things that the creators don't really like. When you work like I do on this YouTube, you know, I've done thousands of videos at this point. You know, I've sustained a full-time income, no other job, you know, ain't no drug dealer or nothing, you know what I'm saying, off of YouTube. So I feel like I know the platform. I feel like I know, you know, what other creators, including myself, would want. And it feels like they make changes in, you know, that's their vision or whatever, but some of the immediate changes that for $1 trillion, $1 billion company or whatever would be easy to make, and they don't, you know, it takes forever to get little, like, notifications, to get some kind of system that is more definite so people can tap in with me. You know, a lot of, you know, man, my streams could have crazy amounts of people in it if they sent notifications properly, you know, but you just look at the comments. People, oh, I finally got a notification, or I just caught you. I didn't know you were on, you know. But whatever. I try not to stress too much about stuff that I can't really immediately impact. But we gotta talk about it. If you guys could smash the like button, that'll help. I'm like J. Cole of this boxing shit. Be going platinum with no features. You know, I don't need a bunch of yes men or nothing. I just come up here, entertain, talk my talk this boxing shit, and keep it pushing. Yeah. my boxing journey was different because when I started boxing, I mean, I didn't, when I first opened, like if you go to my channel, the channel like about me section, it'll say I opened my channel, but I didn't even cover boxing. I didn't do anything about boxing the first couple of years like that I was on, because this channel was called something different. It was called Ego's World 1. So I had a whole different vision. You know, the boxing thing kind of came along, and you know, the rest is history. But I didn't even, yeah, people, if you look at the channel date when I started, that's not when I started covering boxing. You know, because I had a whole different vision of what the YouTube channel is, and then, you know, you see what works and discard the rest. Brandon Adams sounds like a department store assistant manager. March Madness games and Eagle at the same time. Yo, funny as fuck. Yo, while we wait, we're gonna do a roll call. I want to do a roll call because, like I said, it's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do. So let's do the Boxing Ego roll call. City, state, zip, where y'all at, where y'all from. We gotta warm this mic up because, you know, just cause I said so. We gotta do it. Let me put on a beat for y'all. Beats. I hate when the beat take too long to. We can fuck with this. Columbus, Ohio. Cleveland this evening. 216 shit. We got back-to-back Clevelands. Okay. Shout out to Ohio, man. City, state, zip. Far Rockaway, Queens. Baltimore, Maryland. 410. Shout out to the whole DMV. Hey. You know we working. Okay. Maryland up in here. City, state, zip. Where y'all at? Let's get it right. 415. That's some backyard shit. The backyardigans. The Midwest got love for Ego, and Ego got love for the Midwest. Put your dubs up. Louisiana. Redondo Beach, Cali. Southern California shit. It's still California though. We smashing, we mashing. We just keep getting stronger. Ego's Army. I see why they mad. I see why they mad. Houston, Texas. We see why they mad. The Bay. And you notice, man, I gotta switch the beat, man. This beat cool, but I'm weird. I'm selective with beats. I don't think this is it, Chief. No, this is, see, I need to get a DJ or some shit. This is cool, but it's kind of depressing. Like life, it makes you wonder. Sick of losing my job. Like, yeah, this, nah, bro. I gotta switch the beat, bro. This shit making me depressed. Shout out to the 410-78209. East Africa. Love from Africa and Arabia. Oh my gosh, we worldwide with it. Yeah. Much love. 410, we're gonna talk about it. Gennady Hatnall, guys. Golovkin. Let's get it, man. All right, bust it. So there's published reports. This was a rumor, you know. I made a video and like talked about it, but there's actually published reports saying it's the rumor is like, you know, come true, and that Brandon Adams is not official, but I mean I seen a published report on a credible website, It was on World Boxing News, I think it was. And it said that the rumor came true, and Gennady Golovkin is going to fight Brandon Adams, season 5 contender winner. He fought Sugar Shane Mosley's son and you know, won the show. And then they're going to put Demetrius Andrade on the card versus the guy that Gabe Rosado fought that previously lost and got knocked down by both Gabe Rosado and got knocked down by Danny Jacobs. Difference is Jacobs won the fight, and Rosado, you know, he got knocked down himself, got a knockdown or two, and lost the fight. So Andrade's supposed to fight Matt Zaleski. Listen, I'm going to keep saying this. Dazn, especially with the price hike, they're going to have to start listening and appealing to the American fan. That's it, you know. You got two middleweights that we all know and like, Triple G and Andrade, and you're putting them on the card opposite of other people with smaller names instead of fighting each other. And this is the issue, man. Like, I keep saying it and people get mad, but if you just look at it and tell me if you feel that I'm wrong, and then you give some examples and I'll give some examples. But it looks like consistently I keep seeing black and brown fighters, and they're thrown to the wolves and they just gotta survive. You know what I'm saying? Black and brown fighters, they gotta fight whoever, you know. And like the public almost demands the top level competition. Like you can't go too far or too long without fighting someone. I'm not expecting like every fight to be, you know, tough, you know, Mortal Kombat competition or nothing, but you can't go too long without, you know, fighting somebody upper echelon in your division without people getting mad, right? But then you look at certain other fighters, maybe they have the complexion for the protection or whatnot, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Like Gennady Golovkin. Like, this is really, Dazn is seeming like HBO 2.0 in terms of their mentality, I guess you could say, towards boxing. It's like, you know, put Triple G in, like, especially with Triple G particularly. Why not put him in with Andrade? Why does Canelo have to face Daniel Jacobs, right? He has to face Daniel Jacobs, and then possibly, if he gets past Jacobs, which I think is the favorite, then fight Canelo Triple G 3. Another, you know, tough fight. The first two fights were tough, you know, hard-hitting Golovkin. Daniel Jacobs has to fight 4 undefeated fighters in a row. Four undefeated fighters in a row just to get Canelo. Then Triple G's own team, by their own admission, Abel Sanchez, does an interview, said even if Jacobs wins, we still want to fight Canelo. Right? And like, what? When has this ever been done? You know what I'm saying? And then to add to that, Triple G is saying that he was robbed both times. The first fight was scored a draw by the judges. The second fight, they scored it in Canelo's favor, and Golovkin lost and lost his belts. And then he's saying he was robbed in 2 fights. So if you're robbed, why are you fighting Brandon Adams? You know, no disrespect to him, but this is a former 154-pounder who lost to a guy that Triple G already beat. He lost to Willie Monroe Jr., right? Who Charlo was supposed to fight. See, now this is where new media, see, this is why old media can't keep up, because I don't even think they know boxing like they think they know. They know certain things, but they don't know it like we know it, you know? So let's get this straight. Willie Monroe lost to Darnell Boone, you know, who got cracks. Later fought Triple G, you know, lost to him. That was like kind of a fight out of nowhere. Like, it's not like Willie Monroe had this huge name. Willie Monroe beat Brandon Adams, you know. Brandon Adams got stopped by John Thompson, who lost to Liam Smith, who, you know, lost to Canelo, and lost to Jaime Munguia, who's like 20 years old, right? Just giving you guys the family tree, right? And Brandon Adams lost to Willie Monroe, who Golovkin already beat, you know. And then Charlo was supposed to fight Willie Monroe, and you heard people who detest PBC say, oh, why is he fighting Willie Monroe? You know, Willie Monroe holds a win over Golovkin's next opponent, as it's being reported, if he is in fact fighting Brandon Adams. But then when Charlo was going to fight Willie Monroe, you know, people had shit to say. Oh, why is he fighting, you know, Willie Monroe? But it was good when Triple G fought Willie Monroe, even though he had already lost before to Darnell Boone, as I mentioned. You know, this stuff is not adding up. Block Jose. Block Jose. I don't know if we have any shooters, but block Jose. If we have any shooters who are listening, block Jose Vitella. So, you know, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all to me. You know, it really feels like a continuation of HBO. Like, and I can't understand. Well, I can understand, but I can't think of many other explanations why this would be the case. You know, I get it. Let's say DAZN, they want to capture Canelo Triple G3 on their app to try to build traction, because you feel, hey, it's no longer on pay-per-view, and that's a fan-friendly fight, and it's a trilogy. We'll make a lot of money. But the fight was trending down. The second fight did less than the first fight back on HBO. So we don't know what it does. You know, it's a cheaper price point, so maybe it gives them the traction that they need. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But me personally, I don't even really care about Canelo Triple G3. I would rather see Triple G Charlo, Triple G Andrade. I'd rather see Canelo Jacobs, Canelo Caleb Smith, fresh fights. Triple G and Canelo, they could rematch like whenever, later down the road. You know what I'm saying? Triple G got like 6-fight deal with DAZN. They could rematch like on the back half of that or something. You know, so it's like I said, if I'm lying, then please correct me. I just can't perpetually see black and brown fighters pushed, you know, especially by the media, by the public, you know, to be in these tough fights. And, you know, Errol Spence got to move up and fight Canelo. Errol Spence got to fight Terrence Crawford right now. You know, he just beat Mikey Garcia. And this is the narrative that I hear from old media. Meanwhile, Triple G, who was heavily like given exposure from and like, you know, boosted and hyped up and propped by the media, he's fighting Brandon Adams. You know what I'm saying? But Canelo has to fight Jacobs, and Jacobs had to fight 4 undefeated fighters in a row, and now he's fighting someone as good as Canelo with only 1 loss on his physical record. You know, it seems weird. Like, so Canelo got to go through hell with Jacobs because I think that's a tough fight. Jacobs got to go through hell because I think Canelo is a terrific fighter as well. So he's going to have to fight the right fight. So I think that's a great fight, Canelo and Jacobs. Meanwhile, Triple G can fight on a card with Demetrius Andrade, you know, but not have to fight Demetrius Andrade. You know, and then fight somebody like Brandon Adams, no offense, but he just won the contender. So it's just, I feel like Triple G's been at that level. He's a silver medalist. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like at age 37, he's at the, you know, I guess you would say what most fighters would consider the back half of their career. So by this point, by this age, most fighters have already done the legendary things. And, you know, some of them, like Floyd, continue to do that. Floyd was 37 fighting Canelo. That's a fact. He was like 36, 37, 38. One of those, you know, 36 to 38 years old. Canelo was 23, young, hungry, and a champion, and bigger than Floyd. And a big puncher, very good fighter. Floyd fought him. But Triple G's, at age 37, Brandon Adams, you know, who's been stopped, who lost to a guy you already beat. It's not just about triangle theories, but it's just like, wow. Like, and then on top of that, if he gets past Brandon Adams, he don't have to fight Andrade. He don't have to fight Charlo like the WBC ordered. He could just go straight to Canelo, because that's what they've already told you, that's the game plan. I don't see how that's fair, and I don't see how that boosts up Canelo Triple G. To me, as a boxing fan, and you want me to, you know, block Irene Vitella. He got on his girl's page. That's really weird. But anyway, block It's the same guy. He just got under his girl's account, which is very desperate. You should. Anyway, I feel like it was for. It's just like everyone else has to have a harder course, you know, and everyone else has more scrutiny and media pressure than certain fighters. We see it. We see the double standards. You know, WBC ordered Triple G to fight Charlo, and we just have to forget that. The WBC said if you fight Charlo and beat him, your Canelo's mandatory. So it's like, you know, he just goes around that and fights Brandon Adams, right? And still gets Canelo if Canelo beats Jacobs. You know? And like I said, in America, we changing the narrative. We creating our own wave. You know? So it's like get with it or get lost. But if you want the American dollar, and see, some people, and we're going to show. I'm going to show you how influential I am and the movement is. You know? I'm just going to spend more time on the things that are being done in boxing that happen to be right than anything else. You know, any other YouTuber, they could go, you know, cover whatever fight or, you know, try to hype it up. You know, we do what we do, and I do what so I'm not saying I won't cover it or won't, like, try, but, you know, it's not going to be my immediate priority. I'm going to make sure all the people who are doing it right in boxing, you know, get the proper coverage first, and then if I have extra time or something, then I'll do it, you know. But I have to have a priority list, because I don't really think that's fair that Canelo and Jacobs have to batter each other and, you know, go through a tough fight, and then DAZN raises their prices for a fight like Triple G versus Brandon Adams that, you know, truth be told, Andre Ward's my dude, but I don't even know if I have Epic, so I didn't even watch The Contender. I just knew of the outcome, you know, from other people I know, like from boxing. They would like post about it occasionally on Twitter or something. So I didn't even watch the show. So, you know, I don't know the improvements that Brandon Adams had made. Brandon Adams used to be trained by Sean Porter's dad, Kenny Porter, for a period of time, and he used to spar Sean Porter. So once again, Triple G is fighting a guy who's formerly out of the 154-pound division, who recently became a middleweight, and again has 2 losses. One to a guy he beat, Willie Monroe, and he got stopped by John Thompson, who got stopped for the vacant WBO title by Liam Smith. And then when Canelo fought Liam Smith, he destroyed him. So that's the chronological order off the top of my head. John Thompson stopped Brandon Adams. I think it might have been on PBC or at like the StubHub or somewhere. He stopped him. You know, he took that bad loss. He got stopped. The video's on YouTube, right? John Thompson then lost, you know, to Liam Smith. They fought for a vacant title. Liam Smith picked up the vacant title, and then Liam Smith fought Canelo in Texas, AT&T Stadium, and Canelo stopped Liam Smith. That's how that happened. The fight with Adams is official. It was a rumor, but then World Boxing News, they posted that, you know, they got confirmation or whatever that it's official. And they have, you know, they have current exclusives with Bob Arum and Shelly Finkel and stuff. So, you know, it's a credible site. And they're saying that is. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. The rumor was just out anyway. So it's looking like it. So I'm not going to say it's official, but I mean, it was a rumor that I reported about. And then now someone else with a credible site is reporting that it's actually official, you know. And Brandon Adams did an interview with, I guess, the Boxing Voice, and he confirmed that he got offers from Charlo and offers from Triple G. So, yeah, it sounds like it's official. And, again, it just, to me, it's mind-boggling. And it's mind-boggling, like I said, that DAZN is, like, this is their calendar. This is what they're raising their rates, raising their prices. And I feel like you have to listen to the fans. What am I drinking? It's like a sparkling drink, Celsius. I don't know. It's just good though. I feel like it's imperative that you listen to the fans. Like I said, Canelo got to take a tough ass. So Canelo got to fight. He got to move up like 10 pounds, fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who's tough, you know, has a chin and stuff, and was the bigger man. He moves up 10 pounds, fights him at 164.5, beats him easy. Then Canelo fights Gennady Golovkin, fights to a draw. Some people said he got the gift and it was a robbery. So he comes back after a year layoff because he failed a drug test. So the May fight didn't happen. Comes back and fights Triple G again. It has a, you know, a tough fight in the back half, like round 9 on was pretty tough. But he was, you know, walking Triple G down. Then he took a secondary fight with Rocky Fielding, destroyed him. Now he's already back to fighting a name like Jacobs, who's tough. And Triple G has been clout chasing Canelo for the last couple of years, and it's like he's allowed to kind of stay safe, you know, be put in these stay safe fights. Like, it's like if he's not fighting Canelo, look at who he's been recently fighting. On top of, for one reason or another, he couldn't get good fights, or he wasn't really fighting big names, or the middleweight division wasn't stacked when he first, like, you know, started coming into the picture. You get what I'm saying? Like, his last couple of fights, what is it? Canelo. Then you don't take the IBF mandatory. Canelo fails a drug test. They tell you to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko. Jacobs has to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko. You opt to fight Vanes Martirosyan, who's, you know, badmouth Al Heyman, and then got put on the sideline. No one picked him up until Don King, coming off a loss to Edislandi Lara, you know, was out of the ring 2+ years, was a 154-pounder, an Olympian, but a 154-pounder, coming off a loss with no activity, signed to a new promoter, Don King. Now you knock him out. You know, now Vanes Martirosyan is like begging and apologizing to the WBC and Al Heyman because he realized that he burned his bridges. And, you know, he's not really relevant at the 154-pound division right now because he just got knocked out. And before that, he was, you know, in a hiatus, and he got stopped in the second round. Then you fight Canelo. You say Mexican style and all this. Canelo walks you down. I thought he lost the fight. Then you disappear, and he comes back, gets this deal with Equity, gets this, you know, mega deal with Dazn. They're just happy to have him. Gets Triple G promotion fights on Dazn, that allegedly, right? And then now he fights Brandon Adams, and then the game plan after that is to get Canelo again. It's like, how is he? So if Triple G's not fighting Canelo, then who is he fighting? You know, like, look at it. It'll be Canelo, then Vanes Martirosyan coming off a 2-year layoff, then Canelo, then a long layoff, and then coming back to Brandon Adams, and then Canelo again if he beats Jacobs. That's Canelo. That's Triple G's recent. And then the networks, the platforms, HBO, DAZN, they're allowing for that, you know. So we'll see how it plays out. But to me, I feel like it's not really a good look. And here's the other issue. Here's the other issue I have with that. Golovkin, in my opinion, he said privileged. The other issue I have is this. It would be one thing if Golovkin had this, like, phenomenal resume, and then he was, like, at the back half of his career. But it's like Golovkin's being afforded luxuries as if he's Floyd Mayweather. You know, Floyd Mayweather, some of you guys don't realize it. Floyd Mayweather earned it the hard way. Floyd Mayweather fought in the Olympics, got robbed. We all know he got robbed. Then he turned pro. He's like, yeah, I guess, you know, I'm done with these amateurs. I guess I got to turn pro. This amateur stuff ain't for me. Turn pro. In his by the time he turned 21, he had become a world champion and beat Gennady Hernandez, right? Then he started fighting, you know, Pretty Boy Floyd era. He fought Diego Corrales, who was supposed to knock him out. Rest in peace to Chico. You know, he fought Angel Manfredi, who was highly ranked, destroyed him, stopped him. You know, he fought all the Zab, Charmbay Mitchell, Emmanuel Burton, Emmanuel Augustus, you know, Jose Luis Castillo, 2 fights. You know, first fight was tough, then he came back, beat him easy. Then he got moved up and fought De La Hoya, You know, he called out Shane Mosley, Costa Tszyu, De La Hoya. Finally got the De La Hoya fight when he left Top Rank. You know, he fought Zab Judah in there. You know, I mean, and the rest is history. Victor Ortiz, Ricky Hatton, Juan Manuel Marquez coming off a 21-month layup. So, long story short, then he got to the Pacquiao fight, Canelo, all this, Maidana twice, Chop Chop Corley, DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley, exactly. And that was, see, some of you guys don't know your boxing. DeMarcus Corley is a big puncher. You know, watch his fight with Zab and Cotto. Corley, that was Floyd's first fight in a new weight class. So, and long story short, Floyd traveled up 5 divisions, earned it through the mud. So, in the back half, if he wants to fight Tenshin Nasukawa's, be halfway retired, you can honestly say that he's earned the luxury of being money made, and he's already proven what he needs to prove to the point where you can actually understand it. Triple G don't have no resume like that. You know what I'm saying? He don't have no Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto, Oscar De La Hoya resume. He doesn't even have a Canelo resume. Canelo is, I don't know, 28, 29. Canelo's under 30 with a better resume than him. Please argue that Triple G has a better resume. Okay, Dr. Mofongo, I gotta put you in the hot seat, bro. I know you've been a long time, but I'm really not for it. You know, you guys always, I told you, bro, you tricked everybody, you know, and to act like you was down and stuff. You really a casual. So now I gotta treat you like anybody else. So let's play the game. So, since you wanna argue with what I'm saying, fine. You're in the hot seat. Canelo had his fair share of bullshit fights. James Kirkland, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Liam Smith, Rocky Fielding, all masked by higher weight but bullshit fights. Okay, cool. So let's go tit for tat. You tell me about Canelo. I'll tell you a good Canelo opponent, and then you tell me a good Golovkin opponent. Bar for bar, line for line. Everybody grab your popcorn. See, they always want to try to like go against what I'm saying, and I know what I'm saying is fact. So I'm ready. So let me know when you're ready. You know, get your thesaurus or whatever Wikipedia out, and we'll go bar for bar to see who has a better resume. Because you talking about, oh, Canelo had his fair share of bullshit fight. It don't matter. He's under 30 with a better resume than Triple G. There's no contest. So even if you felt he had bullshit fights, like all fighters have some level of fights that probably nobody asked for, you know, but you're trying to distract from what I'm saying. So that becomes a problem because I already know what I'm saying is true. So if you feel it's not true, that's cool. He said, no, see, no, you in it now, bro. He said, no, Ego, you are changing my point. Tell me one of those fights that was not bullshit. Bro, there's no point to even say that. If I said the whole basis of what I was saying is Canelo is younger with a better resume. You come in like, oh, Canelo had bullshit fights too. Cool. But so did Golovkin. And Golovkin's older, and Golovkin's a silver medalist, and Canelo isn't. So now it's a wrap for you, bro. Bro, let's go. I'm ready. There's nothing to explain. You got Triple G's resume. I got Canelo's resume. Line for line, let's see who runs out of quality opponents. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, and even like a Liam Smith, I'm not saying he's the world beater, but he's at least bigger than Canelo, and he's like more of a wild card. Triple G fought guys, he's supposed to be the boogeyman. He would fight guys that Willie Monroe has 6 knockouts. Does anyone really think that Willie Monroe was going to shock Triple G and knock him out? Okay, so they both have BS fights. See, bro, you backpedaling. The whole point that I made was Canelo has a better resume. You come out and say Canelo fought BS fights. I've already admitted, I said every fighter has some fights that are BS fights. So that's already null and void. You got Triple G's resume. I got Canelo's resume. Let's see who has the better resume. Shooters, you guys got to pay attention. Johan Vitella, block him. He's been in here 3 times under different aliases. We're not playing games. Shooters, please clap him. We got a hot seat going on. You got Triple G's resume. I got Canelo's. you know, and you trying to back off the block, bro. I told you, I smell it. You were cool at first, and then I could tell you were a casual because all these comments you kept leaving over time were more and more casual. So now I got to treat you like anybody else in the stream. They never said Canelo didn't have a better resume. Why can't someone come on here and make a point without getting blocked? Because that's how we choose to run shit. You backing off the block, bro. Canelo has a better resume than Triple G. You got Triple G's resume. I got Canelo's. Let's go line for line, bar for bar. Because there was no, I know what you're doing. That's why you can't come here. Because you're trying to take away and distract from the message when you know the message is true with some bullshit. That's why you can't do that. You're, oh yeah, Canelo fought Josecito Lopez. Yeah, he did. That was, you know, no one called for that fight. But yet and still, Canelo has a better resume than Triple G, not being a silver medalist in the Olympics and at a younger age. You're trying to distract for that, so bring it. You know, I told you what the point was. The point was Triple G is older and an Olympian. Two things that Canelo isn't, and Canelo has a better resume, even with Canelo having some fights that nobody cared for. So the people you named was Julio Cesar Chavez. Once again, Julio Cesar Chavez, Canelo had to move up from 154 in the Liam Smith fight to 164.5. So he moved up 10.5 pounds for that fight to fight, you know, a guy who's naturally bigger than him and taller. Golovkin fought guys that he was bigger and stronger than, like Adama, Willie Monroe. Hey, you keep calling me a casual, bro. The world sees that you're a casual. Julio Cesar Chavez was a bum. Okay, so okay, so Adama did more. Now, bro, you've already proven who you are. You showed your true colors. Now you getting worked. So who's better? Who's done more in boxing? You said Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a bum. Cool. Adama or Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? Who has done more in their career? See, you're not criticizing Triple G's choice of opponent, but you're saying Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a bum. So, okay, Osanamu Adama, who's done more, Chavez Jr. or Osamanu Adama? Chavez Jr. at least can hold his head high, say, yo, I almost got Sergio Maravilla out of there. Kelly Pavlik didn't almost get Sergio Martinez out of there, you know, and Chavez also has a win over Andy Lee, who, you know, turned fights around. Andy Lee knocked out Korobov in a fight he was losing. Korobov just gave Jamal Charlo a tough fight. You know, Andy Lee also knocked out guys like, what's his name? Brian Vera. You know, Andy Lee also beat, what's his name? Didn't he fight Peter Quillen? Bro, so Andy Lee, you know, and Julio Cesar Chavez stopped him. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So you tell me, I named some of Chavez Jr.'s best wins and moments. So you tell me Adama's best wins and moments. Name an Andy Lee caliber guy Adama beat. Block Joe DeLeon. I'm not playing with none of these dudes. This is new media season. Block Joe DeLeon. Ego, you are twisting what my point is. Bro, you don't have a point. We going bar for bar. Bro, you got one opportunity, bar for bar. You know, it's too much casual comments coming from you. Now we you know, this is the only way to settle it. This is how we do, like Leonidas. It's Sparta. Once again, I'm not reading anything unless you answer the question. Triple G fought Adama, so you tell me Adama the highlights of his career leading into the Triple G fight. You know, Chavez Jr. at least beat Brian Vera. You know, he had a tough first fight with them. Then he came back and beat him. He beat Andy Lee, who's beaten guys, right? He rocked and almost stopped Sergio Martinez. That was a good moment for him. So who is Adama beat? Kid Corleone, this is some easy work. You know that. That's all we want to know is who Adama beat. You can't pick apart Canelo's resume. Even Josecito Lopez, he just even after he fought Canelo, he had a 2-belt champion who only lost 1 belt because of inactivity, and Keith Thurman. Jose Cito almost stopped him. Jose Cito hurt Maidana. Jose Cito broke Victor Ortiz's jaw. You know, so he at least had, Jose Cito Lopez at least has some moments. Jose Cito beat Aaron Martinez, who beat Robert Guerrero, in my opinion, but they didn't give it to him. So Canelo fought him. I'm not saying that's Canelo's best opponent, but it's at least somebody. At least somebody. Who is Adama? Whoo, I told y'all to get out the kitchen. Bro, you a casual. You can't fuck with me. So what about that Adama? Again, ego, when did I say Triple G didn't have bums up and down his resume? All I did, see, block him. I'm done. You know, I'm done, bro. It's over for you. So you can go to the other channels, you know, crying about how ego blocked you. It's over. You backing off the block, bro. And the thing is, let this be an example, bro, for everybody else. Let this be an example. He was on the channel for a while. But let this be an example, because this is what they try to do. They know I'm spitting facts, actual facts. They know I could back it up. They try to distract you with some sidebar like lunacy to try to create this narrative that they want. Every fighter has some fights that probably, you know, went under the radar or weren't great. We're not talking about that. We talking about Gennady Golovkin being 37 and a silver medalist. The other thing is Canelo Alvarez, he turned pro when he was 15 in Mexico. Block Dr. Mofongo. I don't want to see him able to leave any more comments. He's out of here. You guys seen that. You see me pull apart his limbs. I'm not going to keep talking until he's removed. Shooters, get on that. Thank you. Listen, we doing no mercy. Stall him out. No mercy. If you know boxing, step up. Step up. The reason we got to be harsh like that is because him particularly, he's been on the channel for a while, but he kept showing more and more and more and more, always trying to refute what I'm saying. And this is what they try to do. They try to refute what you're saying, but they're throwing out like weird bullshit to try to distract you from the truth. He knows what I'm saying is true, but he went to the card of Canelo. Oh, Canelo fought some guys. We know that. We know Canelo fought some undersized guys, but so did Golovkin. But the difference is this they want to be new media so bad. Block Joe DeLeon. I see, shooters. You guys got to get on it, bro. The shooters, do I need to get new shooters, bro? We're not playing at all. Joe DeLeon, I already told you guys to block him. He's in here calling me Mayate or whoever, right? Block him. Get rid of him. Shooters, y'all got to step up, bro. I'm not playing no games. I'm not playing no games. We straight to the money in this episode. We straight to the money. Anywho, the thing is, they know what's being said. They know what's being said, and they know it's real. So they try to leave the door open a crack, you know, to see what, you know, try to see what's going on. But they know what's going on. But they try to distract you. Millionaire Mike said they're getting smoked in here. Oh well, bro. I don't care. They gotta go, bro. Because they know what I'm saying. See, and every time you see how I try to engage in this debate with him, and like they always do, all the man fans, oh, you're twisting my word. I'm giving you the opportunity to clarify your words. And then you, hey, man, you keep twisting you don't want no smoke. That's what that is. That's what that is. Because how you going to keep saying, like, begging, oh, wow, you're twisting my word. But we're giving you the opportunity to answer, and you're not doing it. You just keep saying, wow, and you're twisting my words. King Corleone, no, it's good, but it's one of your fellow shooters, they got to help out, bro. Because this dude using racial slurs and all types of shit, and he was supposed to been gone. Not the Dr. Mofongo, but someone else. Block Papito 7757. I'm not playing no games. Nope. Could someone disagree with you without getting blocked? Block him. We having a block party. Fuck it. Keep asking these crazy questions. We going straight for the jugular. I promise you. New media. Bro, this is what they always try to do. The thing is not about if you have a different opinion, you get blocked. If you have a different opinion and that opinion gets challenged by facts and you cannot sustain or substantiate or back up your claims or anything, block Pescado Fuss. Block him. I told you we having a block. Oh my gosh, we having a block party. What don't they get? We having a block party. Ego on savage mode. I don't know why it's this particular stream, but fuck it. Matumbo. We having a block. Oh, we having a part. We blocking everything. Everything that's foolishness. Candy Lender, strap season. You know what it is, bro. We blocking everything. So again, you know, I'm the new Matumbo. We block. I'm Shaq, Shaquille, Ego O'Neal, motherfucker. Blue chips. I'm Kazam today. Once again, for the record, not that I have to explain myself, but it's not about, oh, if I have a different opinion, do I have to get blocked? If you have a different opinion that sounds radical and way off the mark and you get challenged, and then when we come to find out you're just saying this for whatever reason and it's not based on any facts, then what you want from Ego's Army? See, look, in the Loot Radio, props. He said, I've had disagreements with Ego but never got blocked. I respect that. Bro, listen, we have never blocked anybody for, like, let's say I think Canelo's going to win versus Jacobs. And someone else said, hey, Jacobs is going to win. Or vice versa. Let's say I say Jacobs is going to win. Someone said Canelo's going to win. We have never blocked anyone. Oh, you think Canelo's going to win? Block. We don't do that. That's not what we're doing. And they know that. But that's what they try to act like. They try to act like if you say something that I don't like. I think Errol Spence beats Mikey Garcia. I told you guys that. You ain't never seen no one get blocked for that, just for thinking Mikey was going to win. You guys know that. I think Crawford beats Khan, but it's interesting. I've never blocked someone because they thought, you know, Amir Khan had a shot. You could think your opinion, you know, but if you start saying crazy shit, then we're going to test that knowledge. It's that simple. Easy work. It's that simple. We're going to test that knowledge. We're going to test that knowledge. And then if you can't hang, you can't hang. That's what that's about. It's not, oh, I disagree. But if you start saying wild, far out shit that nobody can get with, and we want you to elaborate, then you should be able to. Listen, how do we live in a society on social media and on YouTube where people have these, you know, bold, radical thought processes as it pertains to boxing, you know, completely disrespectful of like the circumstances, and then somebody questions you on it, and then you can't explain yourself. Who does that? How can you not explain, but you have an opinion that seems to be pretty radical? How you delete? He said, how you delete your super chat. Hey, Kitty Linder is a fool. Hey, I'm getting hot. It's getting hot in the kitchen. I got to take this fleece off. Hold up. Okay, now we back. See, I know Ego's Army got me, man. Shout out. He said it was an accident. All right, we got a super chat. Shout out to you, Way Too Smooth. He said Triple G never fought anyone who was supposedly better. And the time that he did, because you can't even say Jacobs, because I remember covering that fight and Jacobs gave me props at the media day for that fight. I went to that fight live and covered it for you guys too, but he gave me props at the media day because everybody else was primarily against him. I think it was like me and Dante's Boxing Nation that said, Jacob, y'all sleeping on Jacobs, he actually has a chance here. Everyone else was saying, oh, you seen what happened in the Parag fight, Jacobs has a paper chin. They were saying, oh, Sergio Mora, he's a light puncher, and dropped him. And it was like, I'm pretty sure Dante, DBN, and me were like one of the only people that say, no, that's a good fight. Triple G, you know, he's stepping up in class here, you know. So we know that. So yeah, he hasn't fought. Name somebody that you thought had a chance to beat him, that he dominated and or clearly beat. See, y'all playing with the wrong one. Bar for bar, line for line, they can't compete. You could be the biggest fan, but bar for bar, line for line, they can't compete with Death Row East. Name somebody that you ever thought seriously had a chance to beat. Like they came with momentum, stylistically, they had the tools in the toolkit, they had the experience, they had the height advantage, reach advantage, and Triple G beat him anyway. And he beat him with no asterisks, no clauses, just flat out, you know, Mayweather Gotti, Mayweather Diego Corrales, Mayweather Canelo. He didn't beat Canelo. All right, bro. Listen. We doing, what's today? We doing Savage Fridays, bro. I'm 21 Savage and you ain't gonna deport me. So, I'm gonna give you guys an opportunity. Brian Palacios, you talking about Canelo, bro. I said name someone Triple G beat cleanly with no asterisks. He didn't beat, how did he beat Canelo cleanly when he lost the last fight and he had a draw? Okay, you're in the hot seat. Bro, we having a, oh my gosh, we having a block party. We having a block party. All right, you in the hot seat. You want to keep going? Let's go. I'm amped up. Brian says first fight he got boxed. So the question, see, this is what's wrong. This is new media versus old media. The question was, name somebody that you thought had the capabilities, the momentum, or was the favorite or whatever to beat Triple G, and Triple G beat them, you know, cleanly. He dominated them, or he beat them cleanly to the point where there was no confusion. He says Canelo. Now, how could you say Canelo when the first fight was ruled a draw? Some people even say Canelo won. Some people had Triple G winning. Some people said, hey, it was a rightful draw. And then he lost the second one. So please explain that. Block Gene Guillermez. So explain that to me. Block Gene Guillermez. He's one of them hackers. So explain how Triple G beat him cleanly, but it was a rule to draw. And you have varying opinions on both sides. Hey, bro. Cinnamon Savage, all y'all, bro. I'm not. Okay. Brian, he said I didn't hear the first part. You could wave the white. All you have to do is say mate or uncle. Cinnamon Savage, you too, bro. I know you're a regular. Bro, we clapping regulars, everything. We're not playing. I'm not playing no games right now because we're going to get to the bottom of this episode. So you can say uncle. You could, you could wave the white flag and then we'll just put you in timeout. Or you could keep going. This is for Brian. He allegedly didn't hear the first part now. See, and I'm the bad guy because I'm being stern because I'm holding people to a standard that if they say the craziness, they got to back it up. But I'm the bad guy. So whatever. Fuck it. Say hello to the bad guy. Block Philippine. Block them. That's the same hacker message. So, Brian, what is your choice? Do you want to continue this? Do you want to say uncle, mate, wave the white flag, and just be back in here? Block Philippine 3. That's the hacker message that just keeps coming back, bro. We doing this like the Kumite, and I'm Van Dam. Shooters, y'all got to be on this. Bro, you got to be on this because they coming. Cinnamon Savage. No, I know you're a regular. I know you're a kid. But I'm not in a joking mood because these dudes is really trying to come for me. So it's survival of the fittest out here. So you might get with the friendly fire just by playing. I'm telling you. That's like saying who had a chance against Davis. Block him. We tried to let him. See, I told you. I tried to let you. All you had to do is just say, you know, I didn't hear the first part. Okay, cool. I'll be back. But now he bringing up Gervonta Tank Davis. We know what you're trying to do. What does Tank Davis have to do with this? They rather go out. See, I told you that pride is a motherfucker. That pride will get you every time. No, it's too late. Get Brian out of here. You see how he randomly brought up the black channel, you know, randomly brought up a black fighter. What you know, we weren't even talking about Tank. Tank's at 130. What does Tank got to do? Oh my gosh. Hey, it's sad, bro. Old media is getting slaughtered so bad. It's all off pride. Like, oh, I'm not saying uncle. I'm not saying my. All you gotta do is say uncle, mate, or just put like the white flag emoji. We'll leave you on. We ain't no bullies. We ain't just gonna beat nobody up because the crowd want to see it. You know, they rather go out swinging. I guess that's the mentality. Okay, Mitchell Grant, you in the hot seat, bro. I'm on it. Oh my gosh, this might be one of my most talked about, most blocked. Mitchell Grant, you in there? He said, "What about Vanes Martirosyan?" So name one person we'll do a vote that thought Vanes Martirosyan, coming off a 2-year layoff, signed to a new promoter, Don King, who barely even got any fighters, and losing to Edeslandi Lara, moving up from 54 to 60, Who thought that Vanes was going to beat Triple G? Please explain. He said, "What about Vanes Martirosyan?" What? Who picked Vanes Martirosyan to beat Triple G? Bro, I was in LA and they had it was like Armenian, they had like an Armenian pride like parade that week, and I talked to some of the locals and they're like, "Yeah, man, I feel bad because Vanes is going to lose." They had an Armenian, because he's Armenian. They had an Armenian pride. Look it up. They had an Armenian pride in L.A., you know, around that same time. And then people were saying Vanes Martirosyan was going to lose, bro. And you talking about people pick Vanes. All right. Y'all could go out like this. This is just entertainment for Ego's Army. You know you lying, bro. Hey, Renee Box. Y'all some savages. He said, "Block that dude. No mercy on this." Bro, you know you lying, bro. So you think a group of people thought Vanes was going to beat, against all odds, moving up, coming off a loss, a long layoff, getting the fight on 2.5 weeks notice. You think people thought Vanes Martirosyan was going to beat Triple G? You can't be serious, bro. So what do you have to say, Mitchell? They know that, bro. See, the funny thing is, you guys can play games, you can try to troll or try to incite or get a rise, but you still get blocked. So it's fun for me. This is just free entertainment. I ain't got nothing to do. You know, this is what I do full time. And I'm getting super chats. So it doesn't really hurt me. You know, we just having fun. I'm not actually angry. All right, block Mitchell Grant. He's talking about Brandon Adams. That was horrible, bro. Yeah, I mean, I hope it was worth it, though. He said, "Stop him." he know nobody's picked Vanes Martirosyan to beat Triple G. Oh, we having a party. And see, all these dudes are going to now go to other channels, you know, old media channels, talking about Ego blocked me. I was beating his ass in the hot seat, and he didn't like what I had to say, so he blocked. Whatever. They know they're lying. You know, new media is a new conglomerate. He said Vanes Martirosyan. Come on, bro. You could have said Curtis Stevens or something, bro. You didn't even make it sound realistic. Vanes Martirosyan lost to Willie Nelson and beat, you know, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade beat after he knocked down Boo Boo. Vonnet, like, come on, bro. Now, let me get back to what I was saying that even created this riff with all the trolls and, you know, all the people disputing it. Listen, it's not about having a difference of opinion, but if your opinion is so way off the mark and you get challenged on it, then just speak to it. Come up with factual information to support your claims. It's that simple. Hey, don't Real block, delete your comment. We don't do soliciting. I don't care. Don't put nobody's channel name in my shit. Period. I don't even know who that is, but delete your own comment, bro. I'm not playing no types of games. Delete your own comment because we don't. You know, we're not doing that, bro. I don't care who says what. I don't care. I'm at the fights. Period. I'm at the fights myself, so I don't care who said what and all this shit. So anywho, all we're asking for, new media style, is to be real, to be accurate, to be factual, and if you get challenged, keep that same energy. That's it. That's it. That's all you have. So if you say, okay, so here's the talking point that led to all of this. Okay, so just for people who are just now joining. I said Canelo has a better resume at a younger age, not going through the Olympic amateur circuit, than Gennady Golovkin. Who disagrees with that? Just know if you disagree, that's fine, but I'm putting you in the hot seat and you're going to have to explain that to me. You have to tell me how Triple G has a better resume than Canelo. Someone said, who the hell is Brandon Adams? He just won the contender. Who thinks that Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, has a better resume? And you know what? Just to be fair, both Canelo Triple G fights, since they fought each other and that they were each other's competition, take them out of the picture because it's pretty much a neutral variable. You know, it's like +1 versus -1. You're at 0. So omit, since they fought each other, omit that whole fight from their resume because they both get the equal credit for fighting each other. So that doesn't really count. So now we have everything from Canelo's resume and everything from Golovkin's resume, and don't really factor in the fight that's pretty much a wash. It's pretty much neutral. Now y'all really fucked up. Now y'all really fucked up. Because why would, they both fought each other, so it's neither one gets more credit. If anything, Canelo gets a little bit more credit because he's the one moving up. But we'll just say it's a wash. You get what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Is that fair to everybody? That since Canelo fought Triple G and Triple G fought Canelo and they fought each other twice, they were each other's competition. So that's like +1 and +1. Is really, So now let's look at their resume outside of that. Now let's talk. Y'all gonna get this work. I promise you that. We have Deontay Wilder level baptisms tonight. So tell me, yeah. So who wants to argue that Triple G has a better resume and he's like 8, 9 or whatever years older than Canelo? And we can't use Canelo Golovkin because that's a wash because they both fought each other. Now let's go. So let's hear it from old media, since you guys all like to dispute what I'm saying and throw out. That's what the Dr. Mofongo dude did. Oh, Canelo fought some bums. It don't matter if he fought bums, because fighting bums, he still got to the bag and he still got to the people he needed to have a better See, here, this is why he got blocked, and he was a long time watcher because he was a casual and he kept showing it little by little. It goes deeper than just this particular live stream. But I don't, if you think it's just because this live stream, that's whatever. But his comments were all casual. Here's the thing. I'm making a point, and you keep throwing out these little sidebar tactics to try to distract, but it doesn't take away from what I'm saying. So I need you to explain that. The bottom line, the basis of the whole conversation is Canelo at a younger age, without going to the Olympics, has a better resume than Triple G. So you talking about Canelo's worst fights or fights that he should have lost. That doesn't have anything to do with it. We're talking resume for resume. Yes, Canelo fought some smaller people. Yes, he took some fights like Amir Khan, Liam Smith. Nobody wanted to see. However, even some of those weren't as bad as some of Golovkin's worst fights. Liam Smith. Canelo had to kill himself to make that 154 because he had been fighting at 155. And at the bare bones minimum, Liam Smith was taller and did have a belt. So you could justify that a whole lot more than the boogeyman fighting Asunamu Adamo from Wakanda that nobody knows with no belt, and Golovkin's the stronger guy. So what are we talking about? And I'm not advocating for saying Canelo Liam Smith was the best fight. But here's another thing. Canelo and Triple G's platform, they put Liam Smith on there with on the main event. Canelo stopped Liam Smith. Jaime Munguia is like 6 feet, 6'1", hella big, young and strong. He didn't stop Liam Smith. So it's still Canelo, you know, he stopped Liam Smith, something that even Jaime Munguia didn't do. And he got the version of Liam Smith that had already been stopped by Canelo, and he couldn't stop him. So you still got to give credit to Canelo. You know, a lot more credit than Asunamu Adamo and these other guys. A lot of people that Triple G fought that there were no hopers. They had no chance. You know, Willie Monroe has 6 knockouts, and he has less experience. Like, what was he gonna do, bro? Man, you wouldn't have a problem with that fight if Triple G was black. Once again, remember listen people. That's what his comment was. Remember I said this. Notice how I told you, new media, we say things that are actually, they've happened. That comment, you just made that up. The report suggests that Triple G is fighting Brandon Adams and he landed the fight. So you're making the assertion that if Triple G was black, I wouldn't have a problem with it, right? But that's not a reality. That's a situation that you just manifested. So please explain how you know how I would react to an imaginary situation that has not happened. Good luck. Shooters, get ready. You have 10 seconds as well, because I know you can't answer this, and I know you're wasting all of our time. Your name is Junior Typical Gamer. You're going to be on them games in no time. Call of Duty, you know, the show, Red Dead Redemption 2. You're going to be back on them games real quick because my shooters is coming for you. So please let me know how you know how I would react if Triple G was black, something he is not. If he was fighting Brandon Adams, you know, or if whoever was fighting Brandon Adams or whatever the fuck you said. Let me know how you know that. Once again, they got a make-up situation. I didn't make up the Adama fight. I didn't say, oh, if Canelo fought Adama. He didn't fight him. You was praising Wilder. Block him. I don't have to read the rest. Shooters, block him. We're talking about Triple G. See, we gonna fine-tune this. The question was about, how do you know I would say, why would I even have to read the rest of it? Wilder had a heavyweight this is what they try to do. Listen. The black channel. Why do the black channel? Why would Wilder not take 100 mil? Deontay Wilder would. Like clockwork. You guys see it. The question was simple. How do you know how I would react in an imaginary situation if Triple G was black? But Deontay Wilder, why didn't he take I don't have to read the rest of what you're saying. Because Wilder had nothing to do with anything. We talking about middleweights. You went up to heavyweight. Like, so, you notice, like, let's say there's a non-black fighter. Let's say Carl Frampton, if you will. No, let's say I like Chris Algieri. We're going to use a Caucasian fighter, Chris Algieri. So if someone said, oh, you wouldn't do this to Chris Algieri if what, right? And I'm like, but Butterbean, what about Butterbean? What? What does Butterbean have to do with Chris Algieri? That don't even make sense. This is what they do. Be like, yeah, man, I think Chris Algieri versus Maidana is, but Butterbean, why would Tommy Morris? Like, we're not talking about Tommy. We're not. Hey, yo, Tommy, what's up? You want to fight? Hey, Tommy, what's the big idea? We're not. What are you talking about? Rocky Balboa and Tommy. We're not talking about heavyweights, and they can't stay focused. That's how you know what the fuck it is. That's how you know it's old media. That's a telltale sign. Because new media, we don't have to do that. If someone says, oh, you're full of shit, like, let's say we're talking about Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, and I tell you, I think Errol Spence beats Mikey Garcia, which is what I told you. If anybody were to ask me why I think Errol Spence beats him, I would say what I already said on Wax. I would say Errol has longer arms. Errol Spence is smarter than you think. Errol Spence is a vicious body puncher, probably one of the best in boxing, my top 3, you know, maybe the top 1, but he's up there, right? Mikey Garcia got hurt to the body with Broner. You know, I would focus in on that's my opinion, that he was going to win, but he proved that he won. But I'm saying even before, that's what we do with new media. I thought Errol Spence would win, which was just my thoughts, But I could still tell you why I thought that way. And guess what? A lot of what I said happened to be true. Imagine that. These dudes start making up shit. They can't stay honed in. That's deflection. It's the telltale, you know, Donald Trump does this. It's a telltale sign. You know, they're like, Donald Trump, why'd you grab that chick by the pussy? But Hillary, why is Juicy Smollett allowed to go free? Like, what? What is, you grabbed a chick by the pussy? You talking about Q-Brad Pulev? Why is Juicy Smollett? You know, they don't have nothing to do with what we talk about. What's Juicy got to do with this? That's the type of shit they do. That's pure deflection. But Wilder, I don't even have to read the rest. I'm too experienced at this game. Too experienced. If you have an argument, you know, I'm not saying you can't have an analogy or an example, but come on, bro. You see what he's, oh, but Wilder, you said that Wilder, what is Wilder? We talking about how you know if Triple G was black, something he's not, how I would act. You talking about Wilder. I know you can't connect that. I know you can't connect that. So that's one. I told you I've studied the casuals. These are the techniques they employ. You know, deflect. You know, like damn, Errol Spence, he really gave it to Mikey Garcia. And then old media, why won't Errol move to middleweight? Fight Canelo. Like what? We breaking down Mikey and, like, you know, his shortcomings in the fight. And you talking about Errol needs to go to middleweight, fight Canelo. Canelo has a scheduled fight for May 4th. Come on, bro. We know what this is. I told you, I'm no spring chicken in this game. You know, Triple OG in this game. I know the game. I know how they try to play and try to distract and deflect. That's why we're not having it. We nipping that right in the bud. And that's what they can't stand. That's why they get, you know, so offended and keep coming back, because they know they got roasted and they know it's their dying breed. Nobody buys that old media shit. You know, one dude said something racist. You know, what was that about? The other dude tried to back off the block. Dr. Mafong, oh, yeah, I didn't mean. Then the other dude brought up Wilder. Come on, bro. You tell me who's winning. If new media is not winning, that's fine. Just tell me. But come on, bro. You see the tactics they employ. That shit don't work anymore. Resistance is futile. And they call Errol a weight bully when he can only put on 10 pounds max per IBF rules for unification. Yeah. Exactly. And he came in under the weight. Bro, we know the games. The bottom line, let's get back to it. Canelo, in my honest opinion, see, this is the thing. We could debate all day, but I'm not debating just to be debating. Gregory Robert, damn egos knocking out like Julian the Hawk Jackson. We not playing no game. Listen, it's very simple. I'll debate. We can debate. But I'm not just debating with somebody who's making up shit. So all you have to do is come with your best material, come with your best factual information to support your opinion. We all got opinions. That's cool. But you got to tell me where that opinion is coming from. See, that's the thing. And then when you break it down and when you strip it down, you see most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing. Roger Mayweather voice. You see most people are judging this boxing based on things outside of boxing, race, favoritism, you know, just to prove you wrong, all this other stuff. We're not having that. If you have an opinion, support that opinion with factual information that led you. So how do you arrive at any conclusion with anything? Like, would you say this pizza parlor is the best pizza parlor that you've ever ate if you never ate there? Do you get what I'm saying? No, you would go to the pizza parlor, try the pizza, maybe go a few times and be like, yo, that's some good ass pizza. That's at my top, you know. You know, if you live in Texas or something, you like Whataburger. You don't just drive by and see the sign and say, yo, Whataburger is the best burger ever. But you've never had it. So obviously trying that burger is what led you to believe, you know. Similarly in boxing, if you feel that, you know, Canelo knocks out Daniel Jacobs in the first round, there has to be some reason why you feel that way. If you really break it down, some vulnerability, if you have something that's radical that other people would probably disagree with, then there's probably a reason. So you just tell us what you see. You know, it could happen, but just tell us what you see, you know, period. Or the guy said, oh, if Triple G was black, you just made that up. So tell us what you see. Tell us how you know how I would act in a situation that is not real, that you manifested. Without bringing up Wilder or the Black Channel. You know, what does that have to do with anything? Anyway, it's really not even debatable that Canelo has a better resume than Triple G. Like I said, excuse Canelo Golovkin 1 and 2 because they fought each other, so they were each other's competition. So that washes each other. That's completely neutral. Because Triple G fought him twice and Canelo fought him twice. So now let's look at the rest of the resume. Please explain how Triple G has a better resume. Name somebody that he beat definitively, no questions asked, or beat him pretty good, that he wasn't favored to beat. Go. Let's do some more hot seats. This is fun, guys. Ha ha ha. I want to hear this. This is getting good now. Name somebody that Triple G definitively beat, no questions asked. Like, you know, you'd be like, okay, he got him one. That you thought had a chance to really beat him, stylistically. Now let's see. Let's see. Everybody, when the grass is cut, the snakes is show. I got to thank the little homie Nas for that, though. Saving me the hassle of speaking to half these assholes. We cutting that grass today, and the snakes will show. So show your face. Now, let's get it. Everybody's watching. Tell me, without using Canelo Golovkin, because that's neutral competition for both of them, how Triple G has a better resume, who he beat decisively, definitively, that you thought had a real strong chance to beat him at that particular time in which they fought. Debris said, "Hot seat, anyone?" Hey, y'all wildin', bro. Let's hear. I'm ready. I'm Tevin Campbell ready. My cousin Ray Robinson fighting tomorrow. Yeah, he fighting that Mean Machine dude. That's his first fight back. Triple G, bro. C-Dub, you about to get blocked. I promise you. Triple G never fought James Kirkland. You're lying. We not playing. Hey, shooters, if he says something else crazy, you know what to do with C-Dub. Bro, if you guys don't want to listen to the question, then you're not going to make it in Ego's Army. We doing boot camp, bro. Triple G ain't fought James Kirkland. You're lying. So if you don't want to listen and comprehend, then that's your fault. We having a boot camp. Man, that C-Dub said James Kirkland. He ain't for Triple G. When did he fight him? What venue was that? I want to go back and watch it. Come on, bro. Hello, where them hot seats? See, when bro, this is like the movie 8 Mile, the Eminem movie 8 Mile. When Eminem was battling Papa Doc, and he was like, yeah, I do live in the trailer with my mom. My boy Future is Uncle Tom, you know? And he spat all the shit that he felt Papa Doc could diss him with. And then Papa Doc was like, boom, 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 boom. This guy's Clarence, and Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. And Clarence got both parents. You went to private school, you know, and he stripped away everything that dude Papa Doc could even use against him. That's what we do, new media. Now you see how quiet it is. So we took away all your weaponry. You know, we do like Black Panther. You guys see that movie? The power of the Black Panther has been removed. We removed the power of the Black Panther, so it's a 100% even fight, fact versus fact, line for line, bar for bar. The power of the Black Panther has been removed. And you're forced now to use only fact to support your claims. Look how quiet it gets, guys. See how quiet it gets. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. And Clarence live with both parents. We on that 8 Mile shit. We strip away that black power. You don't have no added advantage. Fact for fact, bar for bar, line for line. Step up. Block Sorrell. I'm not all these wild guesses. Canelo nor Triple G fought Andre Ward. You're getting blocked off rip for that. Sorrell Smilovitz. Yeah, we Smilovitz when you get blocked. I'm not playing no games. I told you this is gonna be the biggest kill streak we've ever had on this episode. I'm not playing. If you're, man, I don't care if it's a regular, if you see him every day. If y'all playing around on this episode, you're getting clapped. Because we want to strip it down to the bare essentials like makeup. And see who's talking about what. We not playing no games, no proper banter, he. Fact for fact, line for line, bar for bar. Y'all caught me on a good day where we ready. We feeling good. We feeling sharp. No games. We like Errol Spence, you know, fully focused. Floyd Mayweather, fully focused. Now, once again, who wants to argue now that it's all the rules are set and it's very transparent? Fact for fact, line for line, bar for bar. Support your claim of Gennady Triple G Golovkin having a better resume than the younger Canelo Alvarez, who is not a silver medalist and didn't go to the Olympics, because I don't believe he does. But if you believe it, then enlighten me and the other people who agree with me with Ego's Army. And if I'm wrong, I'll take the L. If you're wrong, well, you know what happens. And you going to have to hold that L. Once again, let's go. And if you joke around, you getting clapped. Friendly fire, it don't matter. On this episode, we got to get back to the nitty gritty. So don't be scared now. If you know you have a point, then step up. Like Channing Tatum, step up. If you know that Triple G's resume is better, just explain it. What's that, Destiny's Child? Where they at? Where they at? Oh, no. Where they at? Where are they? See, new media, I told you, old media, I'm destroying them. That's why what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. I'm destroying them. Step up. If that's what you really, because this what they do. I promise you, right when this video ends, then somebody gonna come, oh, you're an idiot, you hate Triple G. Say all this random stuff after the stream ended. You guys got me right now. We got enough people, you know, and everybody hiding under the bed and stuff. Etu Molden. What does that have to do with anything? Canelo knocked out Kirkland. What does that got to do with anything? We going stat for stat, line for line, bar for bar. Explain how Triple G has a better resume than Canelo. Canelo knocking out Kirkland. If you don't know that, then you're not really a dedicated fan. If you don't know the outcome of a popular fight that set records on HBO a week after Mayweather versus Pacquiao. So that's a question you can answer, or you go to Google to answer. Next, line for line, bar for bar. Where they at? Where they at? Triple G's resume, excluding Canelo and Triple G for both fighters. You can't use that because that's a wash. So use all Triple G's other opponent. He has 40 fights, so you have 38 fights to choose from. Canelo has like 50 fights, so you have 48 fights to choose from. Let's go. Look how quiet I can't even conduct a stream because it's so quiet. Where are they? Where are all the people that were just here? Where are they at? Oh, media. See, that's what I'm saying. And see, they're sending the worst people that make old media look worse. You're not sending at least somebody that's even a challenge. They just sending people to say something racist, sending people to say something stupid, say, oh, Andre Ward, you know, knowing that neither person fought him. Look at Shaky, baby. They know my shooters is posted on the rooftops. They know we're opening the debate, not playing no games, and now look how quiet it gets. You know, but then let some of these people that are listening right here go to someone else's video. Oh, Ego's blocking people. Oh, I got blocked. You know, typical, real typical. He only has Jacobs on that resume. Damn. And I thought he lost that fight. He said you snatched their confidence, Ego. Yeah, Hammer Shields. I support that. That's a good fight. And see, listen, the reason why we're breaking it down, because there's a lot of lunacy being stated in these comment sections. The other thing, like I said, Golovkin, in my opinion, doesn't have a Mayweather type resume where he should be eligible to skip around the best competition like Demetrius, Andrade, Charlos, and take these stay ready, stay warm fights on a new platform that's doubling up on their price and charging $20 a month now to see fights, unless you commit long term to a year, you know, and pay in advance without knowing the calendar. I don't think that's a winning formula for me. So I don't see why is Triple G on a card with Andrade but not fighting Andrade. Meanwhile, Jacobs had to go through tough fight after tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. Now he's fighting Canelo. That's his, you know, he fought 4 undefeated fighters in a row. Now he's fighting a once beaten Canelo who's really good. Canelo had to move up 10 pounds, beat the shit out of Chavez Jr., then take 2 tough Golovkin fights. You know, he dealt with criticism for the drug test shit. Beat Triple G with the better game plan in the second fight. Took a tune-up type fight with Rocky Fili. Now he's fighting a guy who's bigger than him, taller, has some momentum, and has a belt in the unification. Triple G, on the other hand, they're talking about he's fighting Brandon Adams on a card with Andrade, and they think that's going to be something to pacify American fans. But I really feel, for DAZN's sake, especially with the price increase, DAZN, John Skipper, Eddie Hearn, whoever, the powers that be, they should have put Triple G in there with Andrade. Now you have like a baby tournament. You fully have my, you know, that would be a more solid lineup. And then I would have, now it's like a tournament style. So I would be watching Canelo Jacobs, you know, heavyweight division. So we would watch Anthony Joshua, but I can get those both in 1 month for $19.99. And then you would force me to get Triple G versus Andrade, because that's another quality fight. And then I would be interested in seeing the winner of Canelo Jacobs fight the winner of Triple G versus Andrade. But instead, they're putting Triple G in with yet another not really big name who just won a game show or whatever, the reality show, who used to be a 154-pounder and spar with Sean Porter, right? And he got stopped by John Thompson, who got stopped by a guy that Canelo stopped in Liam Smith. This is all factual information. Liam Smith stopped John Thompson, who stopped Brandon Adams. Liam Smith was later stopped as champion by Canelo Alvarez in his last fight at 154. Fact. You know? And the funny other thing is this. That particular opponent, Brandon Adams, also lost to Willie Monroe Jr., who Golovkin already beat. You know? So he's going to have, you know, improve significantly to beat Triple G. I didn't watch the Contender. I heard he did get better, but, you know, it looks like a, you know, it looks like kind of an exploit. You know, oh, yeah, we just go offer. He won the game show. People know his name. You know, that's what they think. And they're going to put him in with the guy with more experience who's 37, who hits like a mule, you know. And the other thing that I have a problem with is Triple G's claiming, he's claiming that he beat Canelo. So why don't you fight a guy like Andrade? You get what I'm saying? Max said Willie Monroe dominated Adams too. That's what I'm saying, bro. You know, I don't, to be fair, I don't remember all of that fight. I did see it or seen parts of it, but I don't remember all of it. But and then the Zone's game plan is to then award Triple G Canelo if he gets past Jacobs. But Abel Sanchez said even if Jacobs wins, they still want to fight Canelo. How is that fair? How is that fair for the fans to have to pay this influx price point wise to not see the best versus the best when you could make it happen for a new business venture and you want Americans to pay for that? All right. You know? And then, like I said, on top of that, Triple G said he beat Canelo. So, okay, you beat Canelo. Canelo has a better resume than Demetrius Andrade right now. You know, different style matchup. But why is Triple G don't have to test himself? Canelo's testing himself with Jacobs for sure. Jacobs is taller. Jacobs is strong. Jacobs has an amateur pedigree. And Jacobs has momentum. Again, he beat, in my opinion, 4 undefeated fighters in a row, including Golovkin. Right? And he can move. All the ingredients that could be a fight that Canelo, should he win, he has to figure out. Triple G, on the other end, is fighting, or, you know, they're saying he's going to fight Brandon Adams, which is a fight, yet again, that 154-pounder who just beat Shane Mosley's son, who, you know, I know Shane Mosley's son. I just think he's still developing. You know, he's young, you know. He's not like his dad, you know, career-wise. He kind of started boxing late and shit like that. You know, but they're using that and thinking that's the momentum to make this Triple G fight. You know, so to me, Golovkin, his recent career is like, if he's not fighting Canelo, the competition is probably not up to par. Now, here's the other aspect of that. Make sure you guys smash the like button, please. The other aspect is this. You typically see silver medalists moved at a different speed than Golovkin has been moved. And this is the problem with old media. See, this is the thing. I'm not like, old media is so dumb that they try to flip it and make it like new media or me. Like, I just want to see Triple G lose. That's not it. That's not it. I don't want to see him lose. I want to see him in good fights, see him stylistically tested so I know where to place him. You know? I know where to place him. It's not about, oh, yeah, because it's not a guarantee that he would lose to Charlo or a guarantee that he would lose to Demetrius Andrade or whoever. So it's not about wanting to see him lose. I just want to see it. I want to see how you fare with certain people. And the other thing is, this is what old media is notorious for. They put people on these pedestals. They just said Triple G was the top 25 in the last 25 years. They just said Triple G was #1 pound for pound, you know, ahead of Ward and Crawford, and, you know, or when Ward retired, they said he was #2, whatever. They put him up really high. But then you placed him there. I never had him #1 pound for pound. You placed him there. So you can't put these standards on all these fighters, and oftentimes they're not black fighters. This is what they do. You know, it's like Teddy Atlas told Andre Ward after he beat Kovalev, and Terrence Crawford after he became undisputed. Teddy Atlas on ESPN told both of them to their face that Lomachenko is rated higher than them. Okay, cool. You personally think Lomachenko is ahead of Andre Ward, who won the Super 6, who beat bigger guys like Chad Dawson, and Edwin Rodriguez, who missed weight and then missed weight again, and Paul Smith, who missed weight and missed weight again, you know, beat Carl Froch, who beat George Groves, who beat Chris Eubank, who beat James DeGale, an Olympic gold medalist, you know, and Andre Ward did all this stuff, move up weight, beat an undefeated Sullivan Barrera, and got the knockdown when he's the pillow-fisted guy. Let them tell it. Then he had a tune-up, a second fight. Then he fought Kovalev, you know, close fight. Then he beat him better. But throughout all of that, Kessler, Carl Froch, Kovalev, that didn't prove enough that he's not better than the guy with 12 fights at the time or whatever, and a loss to Orlando Salido, who got knocked out in his pro fight, in his pro debut. I don't know if you see, I know my boxing. That's why it's like resistance is futile. You know, you have to know your shit. Orlando Salido turned pro at a young age in Mexico, like a lot of fighters who come out of Mexico. He was knocked out multiple times early in his career, including his pro debut. He then got experience fighting the Gamboas, the Mikey Garcias, you know, Robert Guerrero, etc., and beating Juanma Lopez. Then at the time he fought Lomachenko, he was able to beat him. Sterling Patterson, $5 super chat, shout out to you. You know, so anyway, Teddy Atlas put Lomachenko, you know, this is what they did with Triple G too. This is what they did with Ronda Rousey too. I don't know if you guys noticed the pattern. They said Triple G's #1, and then you mad at talking about the Black Channel when someone wants to see Triple G fight a guy with the pulse that has a stylistic well match against what he does well, like Jermall Charlo. When the WBC ordered that, I'm like, oh, that's a dope fight. Cool. Hope it happens. WBC told Triple G, beat Charlo, your Canelo's mandatory. Now DAZN and everybody can justify it because Triple G had to work a little bit. Triple G could have fought and retained his IBF title. All he had to do when Canelo failed a drug test is fight his mandatory, Sergey Derevyanchenko. What did Triple G do? He said, hey, no, guys, and didn't fight Derevyanchenko, a guy who later gave Jacobs a tough fight, who's now fighting Canelo, right? And we know Derevyanchenko at least has power and he's game. He went 12 rounds with Jacobs and made it for a competitive fight after being knocked down in the first 2 rounds. You know, one of the first 2 rounds by Jacobs. So clearly that would have been a better fight than Vanes Martirosyan. I was there. So Triple G once again gets to fight Vanes Martirosyan coming off a 2-year hiatus with no promoter, and then switching to Don King, and then he was coming off a loss to Edeslandi Lara. Edeslandi Lara called out Triple G. See, there's just so many ways to go. Edeslandi Lara called out Triple G for 4 years and shit. And there was always an excuse to not fight him, which would have been a better fight than Willie Monroe to me. It definitely would have been a better fight than Adama, you know, and a couple other guys that he fought. And he's not fighting those people. Meanwhile, the black and brown fighters continually keep showing you. Mikey Garcia even, you know, Mexican fighter, moved up 2 weight classes. He lost bad, but he tried. He challenged himself versus a bigger Olympian. Errol Spence, he took the challenge against a very good fighter. Some people thought had what it took to beat him. Canelo, Jacobs. Do you guys see this? I know I can't be the only person seeing it. Once again, minority fighters, you know, fighters of color, black and brown, historically, we keep seeing this. We keep seeing this pattern. I know I'm not crazy, you know. I know I'm not crazy. Canelo's tested himself with Jacobs. Jacobs has tested himself with Canelo. Mikey Garcia came up short, but he tested himself with Errol Spence. Robert Easter, he called out Mikey Garcia, came up short, but he at least tested himself against someone like Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia fought someone 6 inches taller than him and unified. Meanwhile, Triple G's fighting Vanes off of layoffs. You know, and then on top of this, saying I beat Canelo. On top of this, saying I'm Mexican style and I fight for the fans and stuff like that. You know, well, okay, you fight for the fans. Andrade, I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Andrade's a better fight than Brandon Adams. No disrespect to him, but, you know, it doesn't look like he has the experience, you know. And how many fights has he even had at middleweight? That contender shit? Because he used to be at 54. You know, and then get rewarded. So I have several issues with this whole thing. Then get rewarded by getting Canelo. So Canelo got to go through a tough fight with Jacobs. And then if he gets past him, he got to go through another tough fight with Triple G. But Triple G, he only has to get past Brandon Adams. He don't have to get past Andrade. They'll just shove him. He's undefeated with a belt. And see, this is the other. Oh, my God. I know what I'm doing. I'm destroying them. Andrade has the only other belt. Canelo Jacobs is a unification. Hold on. Turn this fucking beat off. Listen. We're going to acapella this shit. We getting down. I know new media is killing. Canelo Jacobs is a unification. Canelo got them belts off of Triple G. Jacobs got the IBF because it got stripped from Triple G for his failure to follow his mandatory obligation and fight Vanes Martirosyan, and then after fight Canelo without defending his mandatory like the IBF told him. So Daniel Jacobs fought Derevyanchenko, captured that IBF. Now Canelo and Jacobs are fighting, so the winner of that fight will have all the belts except for Andrade's belts. You're putting Andrade on the undercard versus a guy Jacobs already beat, and a guy who got knocked down by Jacobs, and a guy who got knocked down by a Warrior and Gabe Rosado but beat him. He got to fight on the undercard to Triple G coming off of a loss with no belts, when you could have put Triple G in there with Andrade, which, especially if Triple G fights for the fans, would have been a better fight, a more compelling stylistic matchup than Brandon Adams, and most importantly, it would be for a belt. So Triple G came in the game saying, oh, hey, no, guys, I want belts, all of me belts. Abel is recently doing interviews saying that it's impossible to get all the belts again. No, the fuck it's not. Billy Joe Saunders failed a drug test. See, this is what I'm saying. I told you guys wouldn't like this, because my brain is way sharper than you guys, I guess, apparently thought. Abel did a recent interview saying, hey, we're just after the big fights. Our priorities and directives have changed. We're not after the belts because it'll be impossible to get the belts. No, it won't. Billy Joe Saunders failed a drug test, right? Nasal spray, Flonase, whatever. Andrade fought for the vacant belt after he was stripped or relinquished the belt against Walter Katandakwa. He beat him. Then he defended against Artur Akov. Jacobs has that WBO strap. As I mentioned, Canelo has all of Triple G's other belts except for the IBF because he got stripped for not fighting Derevyanchenko. And Jacobs is the missing link. He got the IBF that was stripped from Golovkin for his failure to not fight his mandatory. So now that we have Canelo versus Jacobs in May, the winner of that fight will have all of the belts except for the one that Andrade has. So if DAZN wants American dollars, instead of putting Triple G on a card with Andrade, why not put Triple G as a new platform, especially with the price increase? Why not make Triple G earn that money, that, you know, this equity and all this shit that you offered him, and instead of fighting Brandon Adams, fight Triple G, fight Demetrius Andrade, a guy who's been calling him out and even volunteered to step in on May 5th last year when Canelo failed his drug test, said, I will fight you with one hand tied behind your back because he has a belt. Now, if Triple G beats Andrade, then he gets Andrade's belt, and then he could fight Canelo if Canelo beats Jacobs. And guess what? Now it's Canelo versus Golovkin, part 3 for undisputed. That's something he didn't have before because Billy Joe Saunders had the belt. So when Canelo and Triple G were fighting previously, they were still missing one belt. So what Abel said, that's old media stuff. It really is not hard because, and here's the other thing, DAZN has all the middleweights. That's what you guys keep bragging about. So why not make these fights? You know, Charlo is the odd man out with PBC right now. But all the major belts are already in-house. So they could easily pull the strings to do that. So Abel's saying that, oh, we can't get all the belts. It's impossible. It's not impossible. You have to go through one guy that you've never fought, Demetrius Andrade, and then you would have to beat another guy, that you've already fought, because you've already fought Canelo twice and you fought Jacobs twice. So realistically, you have to fight one person that you haven't fought and in your mind didn't beat, because you thought you beat Jacobs and you thought you beat Canelo twice. So the only person you have to beat for the first time would be Demetrius Andrade. I just ran through the whole chronological order. You know, so when fans like, oh yeah, it's just $100 a year. Oh yeah, just pay up. I'm not paying up front, because I'm not seeing moves like that made. You know, I'm seeing certain people have to take tough fights, so I'll support those tough fights. I'm not supporting the same way with the other fights. You know, the whole pretense that people were bragging is Charlo needs to go over there to Dazn, you know, because who's he gonna fight on PBC? But they're not Dazn ain't making Triple G fight Andrade. They and see this, as a consumer, if Triple G beats Andrade, that's gonna show me something, because I think I rate Andrade highly. Plus he gets a belt. Plus it'll be a bigger money fight than Brandon Adams, or whatever he's getting will be more justified because he went through Andrade. So if DAZN already told him we're going to give you 24 million, now it makes sense that you gave him 24 because he had to go through a tough test. So Canelo's going through a tough fight. Jacob's going through a tough fight. You know, they got to bash each other's head in. So let Andrade and Triple G fight. But what's happening is the powers that be, they're trying to manifest what they want to manifest. They're trying to create their own, you know, we want Canelo versus Triple G because they think that's what's going to sell. But guess what? People respect like tournaments. What will sell is the rightful person getting the rightful shot, and then whoever emerges as the winner gets the credit, period. So people make boxing into some rocket science shit. It's really not. The best fight the best, especially when you can do it, when you can make it. Not every fight has to be crazy tough, but, you know, then people would support Canelo. I would support Canelo Triple G3 and have more interest in it if he got that belt. Because if Canelo gets past Jacobs, that's going to show me something. And he's going to have all the other belts. So now I want to see, and I can't miss Canelo versus Triple G3 because it'll be for undisputed. So they could easily, DAZN could easily do this. But instead, the way they're doing it, let's say Canelo wins because he's a favorite over Jacobs. Let's say Triple G beats Brandon Adams. Now, if Canelo and Triple G have a rematch, they're still only fighting for the same amount of belts that they fought for in the first fight. Not the second, because Triple G didn't fight Sergey Derevyanchenko and he got stripped. So what would be the difference maker is, one, it wouldn't be on pay-per-view, but it would also have higher implications, because now if Triple G beats Andrade, collects that one belt, and Canelo goes through Jacobs and collects his belt in a unification, now for the first time, Canelo versus Triple G3 is for undisputed, where you didn't have that before because Billy Joe Saunders was with Frank Warren and he was running around with the WBO belt. DAZN could make that happen. DAZN has all of the belts at middleweight. I'm destroying them. I'm destroying the man fans because all of what I say is true. But once again, the black and brown fighters perpetually go through the tough fights historically. I'm not saying they're the only one. No other time did this happen. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, frequently, Mikey's moving up 2 weight classes. When we seen Lomachenko move up, Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes to fight Lomachenko. When we seen Lomachenko move up 2 weight classes to fight Terrence Crawford or something like that. That's why I respect the fuck out of Mikey Garcia. I hope he rests. I hope he recovers, because Mikey Garcia, he stepped up, came up really short, but I respect him as a fighter, as a man. He thought he could do it. I see something. He didn't. Boom. Errol Spence just showed you his dominance. He's the man too. Boom. Jacobs took on 4 undefeated fighters in a row, beat 3 on paper, and I thought he beat Triple G. Now he's fighting Canelo, who's improved in, you know, the best middleweight with belts in a unification. Canelo, he moved up, in his only easy fight, you know, on paper, that I'm not saying fights that he made look easy. His only easy fight was Rocky Fielding. Chavez was easy. because he made it easy, because he beat the shit out of him. But Chavez is a big dude. You know, he didn't get rocked. Canelo didn't get rocked like Sergio Martinez. He had Sergio on Bambi legs. Andy Lee lost to him, so that could have been a more difficult fight. But see, this is the thing. I'm telling you, all roads come through America. You want the American dollar, you got to do right. From now on, you got to do right. You got to give whoever's buzzing and doing what's right, give them credit. That's why I tell you guys, support what's real. Canelo Jacobs, great fight, support it. Errol Spence Garcia, support it. But, you know, it's crazy that only certain people have to do continually have to do this, you know, and people Errol Spence beat Mike Garcia. They saying Errol Spence should move up and fight Canelo. But Triple G could have fought Andre Ward one division up. Errol Spence at 47. Canelo fought at 68 in his last fight. So he's at 160 to 168. So Errol Spence got to move up 2-3 divisions, you know, to fight Canelo. But there's never a pressure for Triple G to have fought Andre Ward, even though he wanted to fight Chavez at 68, even though he wanted to fight Carl Froch, who Andre Ward beat at 68. Come on, man. And then Abel can say that, oh, Triple G, even if Canelo loses, that's the fight we want. I mean, come on. When do we see that? When do you ever seen Errol Spence call out the loser of a contest? Say, oh, if Danny Garcia loses to Sean Porter, that's who I want to fight. Errol Spence got in the ring on Sean Porter, said, I want to fight you next, man down, let's make it happen. He wasn't like, you know, fuck that, even though Porter won. And that was a close fight, to be honest. I was there in New York. Errol Spence didn't call out the loser. He's like, all right, Sean got the belt. I want to unify with Sean. He didn't call out Danny Garcia off a loss. You know, when Keith Thurman beat Danny Garcia, he didn't say, oh, I want to fight Danny Garcia. He said, I'll fight Danny Garcia, but he always wanted to fight Keith Thurman. But, again, old media, they'll allow for different fighters to have different passes. Triple G his team can call out the loser. And you say, I'm crazy. You say, I'm paranoid. Okay. Y'all got me fucked up. I'm destroying you with facts. No, but see, that's bullshit. Someone said Sean was scared as hell. I bet you Errol Spence has a better chance of fighting. Sean Porter and Errol Spence, they're talking about it's in negotiations. You know, Kenny Porter said the fight, he gonna make it happen, or we already agreed to it. So guess what? Sean Porter will probably end up fighting. You could say he was scared or whatever, but he'll probably end up fighting Errol Spence before Triple G end up fighting Charlo. What y'all want to bet? Before Triple G fight Andrade, what you want to bet? We on some new media shit. I told you, lay on them train tracks if you want to. That train is coming. The locomotive is coming. So you better be Superman, because we coming. What do you think happens first? Sean Porter, whether he was pressured into fighting Errol Spence or not, what do you think will happen first? Sean Porter and Errol Spence, or Triple G versus Charlo, Triple G versus Andrade? And this is what they allow. You know, that's why the UFC is pretty dope. You know, if you guys want to subscribe to ESPN Plus, you can purchase the link. It's a 7-day trial. After that, it's $4.99. But the ESPN is dope. They got the fighters, because it's one umbrella. They got them doing, you know, Amanda Nunes is fighting Holly Holm. That's a good fight. You know, John Jones comes back and he's fighting top guys, calling out Stipe Miocic. Down to fight Cormier and shit. Boxing has this because we have so many different companies and brands and shit. So, again, back to what I was saying with this Triple G shit. To me, it's disappointing that DAZN would go this route and pick a Brandon Adams. And it's almost the thing that, the thing that makes it worse is this. Triple G's claiming he got robbed. Why you need to regress in combat, just like Tyson Fury? Why don't you go straight into the Wilder rematch? If Wilder's a bum, he's an easy fight, and you beat him 10 rounds to 2. If Canelo robbed you twice, then why is he taking a tough fight and you fighting Brandon Adams, who most people think, you know, you win pretty comfortably? You know, Matt Korobov even, Derevchenko gave Jacobs a good fight, right? Why was he not an option for Triple G? If you didn't, like, even if you didn't want to fight Andrade, Matt Korboff gave Charlo. I would watch that, you know, see how he does against that. So if you're not going to fight for a title, what about fighting someone like that? Because we at least know their recent performances. You know, you get to fight someone who won a game show. Crazy. Now, here's the other. Man, I promise you, I'm putting a nail in y'all man fans' coffin. I promise you. Because I see all the bullshit y'all try to do. What makes it even worse is this. Triple G is 37 and a silver medalist. Let me break this down. Hold on. Y'all, I'm about to snap into this Slim Jim. Snap into, oh yeah. I gotta snap into it. I gotta eat this Slim Jim. Y'all are getting drilled. DeWalt drilled. You getting hit with that DeWalt. I promise you. Smash the like button. And the funny thing is, they know they can't fuck with new media because they know what I'm saying is factual. The only thing they can say, oh, Ego's a lunatic. Oh, he's raised. You know, all this stupid shit. With no facts behind it. All right. Motherfuckers clown. Oh, my. Who y'all done fucked up now? Tell me when I'm lying. This is why we the most talked about. I shook up the world. You know what I'm saying is true. You know it. I'm going to make you respect it. I'm going to make you call me pretty. Oh, my God. Tell me I'm lying. Oh, my God. Hold on. Tell me I'm lying, bro. This is what's wrong with boxing. You know, people have all these opinions and all this bullshit. Fucking Clarissa Shields. Y'all got me fucked up. I'm about to eat through the whole game. Boxing might blow up when I'm done. Y'all got me fucked up. Clarissa fucking Shields has 8 fights. 2 Olympic gold medals. Has 8 fights. People marvel at Vasily Lomachenko for losing his second fight and having such a short amount of fights, right? And fighting the names that he has, right? Clarissa Shields is racking up belts with 8 fights. Her next opponent is a name person with a record of like 24-0, 24 25 fights. Clarissa Shields has 8 pro fights. Her opponent has 24 25 fights and is undefeated. This who Clarissa Shields is fighting next. Triple G, I don't know, because she stayed in the Olympics to get 2 medals, so I don't know Clarissa Shields' actual age, but you know, I know she's not 37. I know that much. She's like 24, 25, right? And she's already fighting someone 24-0 in her 9th fight or whatever. And again, I'm not the smartest brother in the world. Her opponent has a record of like 24 fights or whatever, right? 8 times 3, 24, right? So in her 8th fight, 9th fight probably, she's fighting someone with about 3 times as much fights as her, you know, 2 point something, you know, 2 point something for all these titles, you know, the IBF title, the WBA, the WBC, the WBO. She's going after it all. Support that girl or that woman, you know, excuse me. Support Clarissa Shields. Meanwhile, Golovkin is 37 and he has like 40 fights, a silver medal, and they talking about he's fighting Brandon Rios or whatever, Brandon Adams. Again, to stay warm. Clarissa Shields in her 9th fight is fighting for all these titles, like undisputed and shit, against Christina Hammer, who has like almost 3 times as many fights as her. Support that fight. Y'all need to watch that straight the fuck up. I don't care if you like women's boxing. Ego told you to. Y'all need to watch that. Y'all need to watch that and support that. Here's another example. A lot of people disrespect Amir Khan. Amir Khan says some things like he said that, oh, Terrence Crawford fought like competition I would have easily beat, and That's not accurate because Crawford fought and beat Bradis Prescott easy on late notice, and Bradis Prescott knocked out Khan in 1 round. But here's the thing. The thing you can't take away from Amir Khan, right? He's a silver medalist just like Golovkin. This motherfucker got heart. He will fight your ass. See, people keep, this is what I'm saying. This is what's wrong with boxing. People say, oh, Khan's chin. This motherfucker get knocked out a couple times, but he still will come back and still fight your ass. So you got to at least, in that department, despite what you feel about his chin, you got to admit that Khan don't duck no fades. He was chasing, you know, he wanted Mayweather, he wanted Pacquiao. Even recently, he said, I wanted to fight Pacquiao, and they gave the fight to Matisse. So I don't know if that would have been a good fight for him, you know, but you got to respect it. Khan is a silver medalist. He's younger than Golovkin. Khan's about like 32. He's a silver medalist just like Golovkin. And he got heart. He got bought. People make fun of his chin and stuff, but look who the fuck he's fighting. He's fighting, like, I don't know if that's a good fight for him, just to be 100% real, you know, because I rate Terrence Crawford so high. You know, I do think Khan, you know, at his best can make it interesting, but that's a very dangerous fight. This is what I'm talking about. What are we talking? Oh, my gosh, I'm destroying y'all. Khan is a silver. This is what I'm saying. Typically with a silver or gold medalist, you usually see them elevate their competition. You know, Khan is 32, so about 5 years younger than Golovkin. They both got silver medals, right? And look who Khan's fought in his career. You know, Danny Jacobs, Marcos Maidana, and beat Maidana, who later gave Broner his first loss. Later gave Floyd a tough first fight. And Amir Khan beat Marcos Maidana and survived, you know. Khan beat Chris Algieri. Khan fought Luis Collazo, who's still relevant. Collazo just got a victory on the top rank card. You know what I'm saying? He hurt Keith Thurman. You know, Collazo did. Collazo hurt Keith Thurman, and Khan dominated Keith Thurman. Devin Alexander is still around. Khan beat him easy. You get what I'm saying? So Khan has Danny Garcia, he lost that fight, but, you know, he gave it his all. Canelo, he lost that fight, obviously, but he gave it all. Fought Bradis Prescott. He beat Marco Antonio Barrera, right? So you can say whatever you want about his chin, but the motherfucker's 32, he got heart, and he will fight your ass. Triple G is 37, so older, doesn't have a resume like even Khan. And like I said, Khan's fighting Terrence Crawford. They talking about Triple G 5 years older with the same, you know, medal placement, and he's fighting Brandon Adams. Khan's fighting arguably the best welterweight. It's either him or Spence to me. So, and Khan didn't even come off of a good performance. Khan fought Samuel Vargas. He didn't look so hot. So Khan, once again, he's still so why can't we see Triple G versus Andrade? Khan coming off a bad performance, fighting a super tough guy in Terrence Crawford. He's a silver medalist too. That's what I'm saying. Look at, and nobody said Khan was #1 pound for pound, but they said that about Golovkin. So I don't think it's wrong of me to be like, especially if DAZN's charging me $20 a month. I don't think it's wrong of me to want to see competitive, compelling matchups. If Khan can do it, Golovkin got a fucking chin. So explain to me how Golovkin got a man-style chin and a silver medal, and he has 1 loss. Khan has 3 losses, coming off a horrible performance. Golovkin's coming off a performance where he said he won, and he got a crazy chin. Khan's chin is not the best, and Khan, with his silver medal, with his deficiencies, with his lack of chin, is fighting the best guy in the division, or one of them, him or Spence. He's fighting Terrence Crawford, and Triple G is fighting a guy from the Contender that's been stopped before that used to fight at 54, Vanes Matarosin. These are the guys he's fighting outside of Canelo. And Triple G, on top of everything, got more praise, and he's older than Khan. Let me know. Somebody, let's break it down. That's my point. So what's the difference? So why is Khan got to fight Crawford People don't give him credit for even having heart. Triple G's talking about Mexican-style fight for the fam with the same silver medal. And he fighting Brandon Adams. And Triple G got a good-ass chin. Khan has durability issues he's showed in the past, and he's still fighting a dangerous fight after being 2 fights removed from the Canelo horrible knockout. Y'all looking shaky. Y'all looking shaky, baby. I know I'm not tripping. I want to hear it. Why y'all get quiet on me now? Triple G never moved up fight Andre Ward. Win, lose, or draw, Khan moved up and fought Canelo. We never seen that. We never see Amir Khan. Canelo was clearly one of the best at 54. Khan moved up to 155. He got slapped, but we at least seen it. Once again, Mikey Garcia moved up, came up short, blah, blah, blah. Kell Brook moved up for Triple G, came up short. But we never see the people that old media puts all the energy in the press and, you know, $100 million offers and all this stuff. They don't have to be tested too. So once again, black and brown fighters. Khan, Pakistan. Canelo's fighting Jacobs. Jacobs is fighting Canelo. Terrence Crawford is fighting a different style than Khan. Mikey Garcia moved up 2 weight classes and fought Errol Spence. Guillermo Rigondeaux moved up 2 weight classes and fought against Lomachenko. Kell Brook had to move up 2 weight classes and try his luck with Triple G. But Triple G ain't never had to move up. And then coming off a loss that he said he won, look at it. Another silver medalist like Amir Khan, who's 5 years younger, he's taken one of the toughest fights and the toughest outs in the division. Triple G, on the other hand, is taking a fight like a Brandon Adams. I don't get it. I think old media giving premature praise makes those fighters timid. I don't know. You guys tell me what it is. Everybody else taking, and then this is why we riding. Charlo called out Canelo, called out Triple G. Oh, you don't deserve that. You just want Canelo's money, right? Triple G, oh, blah, blah, blah. You don't deserve that fight. You're nobody. Scheduled to fight Willie Monroe. He fails a drug test. They get a late replacement that's actually a tougher fight than the initial fight because the guy has amateur experience and power. Matt Korobov. Oh, he's fighting Korobov. This is what they say. That was a good fight. I was there. It was a good fight. It was a good learning experience for Charlo. I thought he won. I thought both Charlos won that night pretty much. But they were both good competitive fights. But where's the? You don't see that same scrutiny for Triple G. Or certain fighters. You tell me. You tell me. I'm crazy? Nah. And then on top of that, aside from the Andrade route, the WBC told, hey, you want to fight Canelo? Charlo's your mandatory. So why didn't, but he's like, why should I fight Charlo if I, DAZN's going to give me the fight anyway? That's how he's looking at it. And I don't think that's right. Everyone else is in boxing is trying, and then like I said, people are like, oh, why is Wilder fighting Dominic Breazeale? This is the type of stuff that they say. Even though it's his mandatory, even though he wanted Joshua, even though he went through Luis Ortiz, when to this day nobody wants to go through Luis Ortiz, even though he wanted the Tyson Fury immediate rematch, they still try to play. Block Dog Chew. You're not even worth it, bro. Yeah, you Dog Chew. you rawhide. Just clap him. That's not even worth my time to even listen. We getting paid out here, bro. That's not even worth it. That was just stupid. I told you. You can disagree. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if there's no explanation, I'm not wasting my time. My breath, I'm a young dictionary. Make words make sense. My breath cost, for me to explain and stuff. So if you call me a hater, racist, you better explain in that, diatribe what I said that was racist, what I said that was biased, what I said that was hating, or whatever you're accusing me of. That's how that works. That's what I'm telling you. We have the building surrounded. I don't know if I don't see why they don't see it. I don't know if they're new to the channel. I don't know what the deal is. But we have a good system here. And the world gets to see it, All you have to do is explain what you're talking about. And see, this is why old media is a dying breed. Because once, like I said, that Chrysler 300 looked cool, looks pretty dope until that Rolls Royce pull up, that Phantom pull up. You see a Wraith pull up. Then that shit don't really look as impressive. You feel me? And that's what's happening. Old media, they know this. They know this. When the truth comes out and it's laid out for the fans can decide. And when you hear an elaborate, eloquent argument presented by me where I'm taking actual time, citing sources, giving you facts, giving you as much, sources and dates and information that led me to that moment that you guys can check on your own behalves independently to see if I was lying. And then someone says you hating. I mean, what sounds like the better argument? Like, just be real with yourself. I said 8 minutes worth of information and then you summarized it as stop hating. Okay. And you think people really going to believe that in this day and age? Like I said, tell me what I said that was wrong. That's all you have to do. So if you're not willing to do that, we don't take it serious. Period. So that's my thoughts. I don't know. I didn't watch. Maybe I have to watch the contender. I don't know, but see this again. To me, this is the problem that Dazn is going to run into. How can you take risks financially paying the fighters the crazy money, but you don't want to risk them in dangerous fights as you try to build up your empire, and you're not putting. Again, if you want to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs. You get what I'm saying? So to me, I personally, if it was my company, I probably wouldn't be throwing out all the crazy money. Canelo, I would try to get him, because he's like, he's definite revenue. But someone like Triple G, he's coming off a loss. He's 37. He's a good fighter, but I'm not going to match him lightly because what does that really do for my platform? How many people are going to go out of their way and want to see Triple G versus Brandon Adams? We'll see. I could be wrong, but to me, that fight doesn't just like thrill me. Even if Charlo, because I know Charlo was gonna fight him too, or they sent an offer. But see, here's the difference. Charlo's not 37 years old. See, I told you guys, they can't fuck with me. You can't even compare Charlo because one, Charlo is not a former champion at that division. Two, he's not 37 years old and the silver medalist. So his personal journey is not that of Golovkin. Why are we holding a younger non-Olympian to the same stand and a non-champion, someone who was never a champion at middleweight yet? Well, he has like the WBC silver interim. Or I'm talking about like the real full versions of belts, right? We're not talking about apples and apples. We're comparing two different things. Charlo ain't even 30 yet. Charlo didn't get a silver medal, So Charlo, he still can keep fighting. And we know he's calling out all these guys. You get what I'm saying? We know he's calling out. He wants to fight all these guys. So we're just talking about two different things. That's just the bottom line. Triple G versus Munguia. Munguia said he's with it. That I would prefer that to Brandon Rios just because that's a guaranteed barn burner. And we've never seen Munguia stopped. So if Triple G stopped him, I would give him credit for that because Munguia looks pretty durable. He's young and he fights at a insane pace, and he's taller than Triple G. So I would definitely rather see that than the Brandon Adams fight. So, you know, that's the thing. So between some of the stuff with Eddie Hearn and what he's doing and the matches he's coming up with and how he's rubbing people wrong, and then decisions within Dazn, like, I just don't understand how they think this is going to be the winning formula. You're new. You have to, you know, facilitate certain things. You're spending the crazy money to lure people in, but then you're putting them in fights that don't bring the same traction. It's the same thing of having a okay fight and putting it in a facility that it costs more to rent that place out than what you're probably going to get back. I don't see how that's a winning formula. Same thing with Triple G, Brandon Adams. Whatever deal you gave him and equity and all the things you had to do to break your back to get him, are you going to get that back for the Brandon Adams fight versus if you put him in there on the East Coast or something, because he does good. Andrade's from the East Coast. You know, he's from Rhode Island. If you would have made that fight, then people would actually really come out for that. I think people would come out for Triple G Andrade. You know, definitely more so than the Brandon Adams fight. So, you know, I don't see the formula in spending all this wild money to get the person, but then when you have them, not take it, you know, being more sparing with your matchmaking, you know. And ultimately, I really feel like in this boxing, like kind of like the UFC, some of them dudes have 11, 12 losses and still, you know, like Robbie Lawler got stopped by Tyron Woodley, but then he held a good account of himself versus Ben Askren, right? So people still fuck with him, and now he's still in the mix to maybe fight Jorge Masvidal or, you know, a Ben rematch or whatever. You know, he has losses. People still fuck with him, you know. But it's like some of these promoters and networks so scared of someone to take a loss where they, like, you know, try to manifest their own. We want Canelo Triple G, so we don't want to ruin his chance. If that's what happens, it happens. If you put him in with Andrade and Andrade wins, then he deserves the fight. You know, and people, I think, will get behind it. But see, this is the thing, and I think I know it. This is the old media way of thinking. I don't think they value the black American dollar. I think that's one of the major things. You know, you're bringing up right. You can say whatever you want. I don't think that's the case. They think there's more money in Canelo versus Triple G. My theory is this: if you do what the fuck the fans are asking you to do, you'll make the money. If people see tournament styles fights when you can make them, and then we know this is the absolute best welterweight versus the absolute best, we get to that point, or the absolute best middleweight, then I think people will, it'll resonate, you know, because the thing is, Andrade is undefeated. Triple G has one loss. So if Triple G beats Andrade, especially if he beat him like cleanly, I give Triple G a lot of props. I'll be like, oh shit, he stopped Andrade. We only seen Andrade get knocked down by Vanes Matarosin. Beast. So it works. It would be of a benefit. Now you make a solid argument for Triple G to fight undisputed versus Canelo. If Andrade picks off Triple G and he wins, then how doesn't he not deserve a Canelo shot? He been trying to get, but again, they have these own, they're like the game plans they think will sell and what they want instead of just going the course. Like Andre Ward, he wasn't the favorite in the Super 6, but he emerged victorious. So he went on to have a very good career because even though he wasn't the favorite to win the tournament, he won the tournament. So you had no choice but to give him respect. That's what Dazn could be doing right here with the middleweight division. This would be a baby tournament with all the players that matter minus Charlo, who's not over there. And then if Canelo Jacobs winner fought the winner of Andrade versus Triple G, then it would be for undisputed. But they want to keep Triple G warm and all this shit. So even if Canelo beats Triple G, if he beats Jacobs, then he fights Triple G. He's not fighting for all the belts. So you can raise the stakes and incentivize these fighters, incentivize the customer to want to pay. Look at Ebong. He said, "Who the fuck is Brandon Adams?" See, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like this big money fight that people were asking about. Shout out to Ronald Finkley, my guy. Same thing, World Boxing Super Series. That's what makes it compelling. Because if Inoue, like, so see, that's the thing. Like with a tournament like that, Regis Prograis fighting who he about to fight, Kirill Relic, the Ivan Baranchuk. I don't know if he's still in it, but because I heard some different things. But he's supposed to fight Taylor or some shit, and then the winners meet, and then we gonna see who's the best. Just like Usyk. The reason why Usyk's a beast is because he beat everybody in the tournament. You know, he just beat his seed, winner's face, boom. Then he fought Tony Bellew, beat him by knockout. Usyk's the man. Now he's moving up to heavyweight. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's a really easy concept. You know, I think Inoue will probably win his bracket, but I could be wrong. So if someone, you know, Nonito Donaire is fighting the Zoltan Zalani or whatever his name is, that's a good fight. Inoue's fighting his dude. And then the winners of those two fights fight each other. And whoever wins, I'm like, yo, I rate that guy. It's that simple. This could be the case. See, what's like, just explain this to me. And I've already destroyed this argument. New Meaning 30, $2 super chat. Ego always spitting the truth. I want to be a member. Yeah, man, there should be a join button for anybody that wants to join. It's under the video. It just says join, $4.99 a month. But appreciate you for the super chat. Here's the thing. Here's my last point, because I already know I destroyed. And see, that's what people at least respect Usyk. You know, like, damn, he won the tournament. Then he beat a former champion at cruiserweight or a champion at recess or whatever by knockout. Cool. Now, you know, he makes the case to move up to heavyweight. See what he could do there. Boom. Here's the other thing. That's what happens when you do tournament styles. My thing is this: what's the point of DAZN spending all this cash to load up and get every welter or every middleweight with the belt if you're not gonna make them fight? You feel me? Does that make sense? You nabbed every relevant, you know, middleweight with the belt that showed promise, you know, paid them whatever you paid them. What was the point of that if they don't have to fight? And like I said, if you went through those, in my opinion, proper channels, those order of operations, he said to waste their money. If you went, in my opinion, those proper channels, then you just make those fights bigger. Listen, people don't care. If Triple G is good enough to beat Andrade, he's going to beat him. If Andrade's better than him, he's going to beat him. If Jacob is better. See, that's what these companies don't realize. You can't manifest this. You can put, it don't matter what you got planned, you know. They could have thought Mikey beats Errol Spence and then Pacquiao wanted to fight Mikey Garcia. I think Pacquiao, put it this way. If Errol Spence lost and Mikey won, I think we'd be seeing Pacquiao versus Mikey next. I really do. But since Errol won, they like, fuck no. Fuck that. We not fighting Errol next. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you boxing is too fickle. You might as well just make the good fights that bring the attraction, you know, and then the person either wins, loses, or draws with the person, and then that's it. You know, but these promoters like, oh no, I gotta build my cat. It's gonna happen at one point, you know, because you're gonna be pressured into making it, and then it could be worse. The money could go down. Someone else could lose to some. You gotta strike while the iron's hot. You know, you sitting up here trying to do Canelo Triple G3 because you think that's the money fight. But what if Canelo don't get past Jacobs? Then he got to rematch Jacobs. And then Triple G gonna keep fighting Brandon Adams and, you know, Bruce Willis and all this shit. So you better off just making the fights, because at the best versus the best, like, you know, at that level, there's no one that really loses. The event will be bigger. Somebody's going to take a loss, but even if it goes off a script and let's say you wanted Canelo to fight Triple G, you still have a player for Andrade to fight Canelo. Or if Jacobs and Andrade, you know, even though they're friends, I think they're going to have to get over that then at that point, you know, if you ever want to be undisputed. So no matter how you mix and match, I think it's just in the end better for you because your events will be bigger. It'll gain more traction. It'll be more meaningful. The fighters are incentivized to have the best camp. Shout out to Debris James. Facts, ego, destiny can't be controlled by promoters and organizations. That's what I'm saying. The reason being, we all get it wrong. There's no one that can accurately predict. Joshua, I'm telling you guys, like, let's say, oh, we didn't want to make Joshua versus Luis Ortiz. What if Gerald Big Baby Miller is stylistic? I'm not saying this is true, but just hear me out, people. This is what I'm saying. What if Gerald Big Baby Miller, based on his size and volume, because Luis King Kong Ortiz is a fucking beast, but he don't fight like Miller, you know? And per Joshua's style, what if Gerald Miller is the worst style for Anthony Joshua? We're going to find out June 1st. But what if a guy being 320 pounds with a crazy volume and then Joshua fatigues, and then that turns out to be what beats Joshua versus, let's say you put him in with Luis Ortiz and the fans in their mind are like, man, that's a great fight. You know, that's a 50-50 fight. You can't plan that. Do you get what I'm saying? You can't plan that because you putting him in there with Gerald Miller because he's unproven and you think that he won't win. But what if he does win? And you would have, had you put him in with Luis Ortiz, what if Joshua can beat that Luis Ortiz style? Do you get what I'm saying? The perception, or he already beat Dillian White, which would have been a bigger fight too, especially if you kept in the UK. So he already beat Dillian White. But since you don't want to take the gamble on, you know, that Dillian White could play spoiler, you put him in with Gerald Miller. But he already beat White. So what if you put him in there with White again, made a bunch of money, and he's already showed he could beat that style? But you put him in with Gerald Miller, and then he gets upset. Now he got upset by a guy who didn't have as much momentum going for him, and that's just a whole different fight. Versus if he would have lost to Dillian White, now you can make a trilogy to get the belts back, you know? But hey, don't take my word for it. This is what happened. Yuri Yorkis Gamboa versus Mikey Garcia never happened. Juanma Lopez versus Yuri Yorkis Gamboa never happened because he got upset by Orlando Salido. You can't control these things, you know? So you might as well, if you could pull the trigger, strike while the iron's hot, and then let the fighters decide the outcomes of their career instead of the people in suits saying what it is and what they think is going to happen. You know, I get it, matchmakers and stuff, but especially for Dazn, out of all people, because they need to get people on their side. They need to get subscribers, which is why they raise the price. So the best way to do that is put on fights that people can't miss. Damn, Narco going bad on you. Triple G bullshit. Give me my belts. Everything was 100% fake. Facts, ego. Man, it's not looking good, bro. Old media is going down. I promise you. This will be my life's work. I promise you that. Because I'm sick of it. You got to get these Americans, they proper. We need our proper etiquette. It's that simple. You know, they think there's no money in America or, you know, in the black community. I don't know what they think. But we going to show different. You know, we going to show different. The bottom line is if you do, like, see, I told you, for me, I'm a straight up person. I'm a straight up person. I will still watch Mikey's next fight. He lost pretty bad. I still will watch it. Why? You know, I'm not going to hold that against him and be like, I abandoned Mikey because he lost to Spence. Spence is really good. You know, but you lose people on the journey when they're in constant perceived cherry picks and they're 37 years old and they're silver medalists and people want to see them fight fights that they could fight, but they'd rather put that person on the undercard as opposed to making that the main event. What sounds better? Like, man, maybe I'm crazy. We're going to find this out. As real boxing fans, What would be more enticing to get you to commit to $20 for that particular month or $100 up front? Triple G versus Brandon Adams with Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade and Selesky, or Triple G versus Demetrius Andrade and Madge Selesky versus Brandon Adams? Which combination, which variation would push you closer to the edge of buying that for that month or for a year? Brandon Adams and Madge Selesky and Triple G versus Andrade, or the way it is, Triple G and Adams and Andrade versus Selesky? That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, fans like good fights, you know, and you have the ability to make the good fight. So we know what the answer would be. And I think that's a fairer fight. I think, you know, in terms of like Brandon Adams versus Matt Selesky, that's a good fight. You know, to me, that's actually a better fight. But see, this is what boxing does. And this is why I said it's kind of like HBO 2.0. They'll make Triple G versus Kell Brook and Canelo versus Khan, when really Canelo should have fought Triple G, and then you could have had Kell Brook and Khan fight. That would have made more sense. So it's official. Well, it was a rumor last week, and then worldboxingnews.net, which is a credible website, you know, they have like exclusive stuff. They said it's confirmed. So, you know, maybe their sources or whatever. Dazn matching their fighters in a scary way. And see, this is the thing. How can you not be scary with the spending purses that you're offering them, but then scary with the matchmaking? You know, and then beyond that, just the whole, oh, Mexican style, I fight for fans, and the fans are why I fight this aggressive style, and, you know, all this extra stuff, and then being #1 pound for pound. But then this is the order that you choose to. You get what I'm saying? The media, they put too much pressure on this guy. If they never said Triple G was #1 pound for pound, he wouldn't have so much pressure on him. You know, if they never said Lomachenko was #1 pound for pound, they just let him earn it, he wouldn't have so much pressure on him. But when you tell me #1 pound for pound, and then I'm constantly seeing the news clippings, Triple G versus Vanes off a 2-year layoff and a loss, moving up in weight with 2 weeks notice, you know, Triple G avoids, you know, doesn't fight Andrade. Triple G doesn't fight Madge Selesky is mandatory. Triple G's fighting Brandon Adams, you know. Then it becomes harder to justify. You get what I'm saying? And then I told you, people want things even Steven. They're like, oh, ego, you don't criticize black fighter, all this bullshit. What about Charlo? Charlo is 28, and he's not a former middleweight champion. He's a champion at 54. So off of that is something different, because he's at his spot in his career. Every fighter has their own journey. Triple G is a 37-year-old man. He's grown with the silver medal. Charlo ain't even touched 30 yet. Canelo ain't even touched 30 yet. And guess what? Charlo's going after it. Canelo's going after it. You know, how is a 28-year-old Charlo want to fight Canelo and Triple G? But the more experienced silver medalist, you know, kind of shoots down the idea. Even when the WBC offers. Man, come on, bro. PBC, their first card was Keith Thurman versus Robert Guerrero. That was like their first card. And it had Adrian Broner versus John Molina. John Molina is a big puncher. You know, I thought he beat Omar Figueroa. And Broner had already lost to Maidana at this point, I believe. So that at that time, that was a good fight, you know, because Errol Spence hadn't rose to prominence. Terrence Crawford wasn't at welterweight. So Keith Thurman versus Robert Guerrero that was PBC's very first card. You know, and then like I said, they rank Triple G #1. Abel Sanchez is saying Canelo Jacobs is for the loser bracket. So you saying all this, but Canelo Jacobs is a bigger fight than Triple G versus Adams. So what are we really talking about? That's my time, people. I think I made my point. You guys could believe whatever you want, but for me, I do think that Dazn, they're gonna have to figure out this matchmaking. Like, I don't see how it's just high risk purses that you're spending, but you're not making compelling fights that people want to see. And you can't compare it to Top Rank or PBC because they're at least with entities that are already established in the world of boxing, and it's not on a private app. They got channels. I mean, it's just totally different situations. Dazn is a specific destination. You have to make a conscious effort, a discerned effort to go to your app store, download it, you know, do the Apple Pay and double click to show that you're doing a monthly subscription. Fox is not like that. You don't have to do all that to watch Fox. You know, either you have Showtime or you don't, you know. ESPN Plus, you know, that's the thing, but ESPN, the regular, some of the fights are on regular ESPN. You don't have to do all that. You know, but either way, ESPN's already established in America, period. Dazn is like working on it and working on getting established. They got to pull the trigger on big fights, you know. So far, Wilder turned them down. Leonard Ellerby said Tank's not fighting on that app, you know. And then in the areas where they could make really good fights that would lure people in, to me, they missed the mark. Putting Andrade in there. Andrade's too good to keep fighting guys that already lost like that by, you know, other guys. Yeah, Triple G lost, but, you know, he only has one loss, and he lost to Canelo, you know. He's a former champion. I don't think Matt Zaleski is a real former champion with a real belt. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't get Wilder. You didn't get Errol Spence and Mikey and all this other shit. So far, you haven't pulled the trigger on Gervonta Tank Davis and Tevin Farmer and got that on your app. But then you have the whole middleweight division, but then you're trying to space it out and use them sparingly and then tease the fans by putting them on the card, knowing that the game plan is Canelo versus Triple G3 should they both win, as opposed to Canelo versus Andrade or Triple G versus Andrade. You know, I just really feel like the better game plan would to be match them up proper, get the traction going, you know, make the bigger fight now, and stop worrying about it. If Triple G, he gains more. It's not just about like, oh, Triple G lose. He gains more beating Andrade, because at the bare bones minimum, it's going to be a more justifiable big paycheck. If you're paying him $24 million, he actually had to beat an Olympian to get it. You know, he's going to get a belt, a WBO belt, which he can now say, hey, Canelo, I want to fight you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is for all the belts. You can't be undisputed without me. Canelo just told you he wants to become undisputed. So why wouldn't Triple G go after Andrade, who has the missing link, and be like, ha. That's like blocking the exit on somebody. That's like obstructing someone's path. Canelo and his team, the Reynosos, told you, ESPN Deportes, they told you Canelo wants to unify and be undisputed in this division this year. So why wouldn't Triple G block the exit by beating Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, who would then, if Canelo can get past Jacobs, have all the belts minus that one WBO belt that is currently held by Andrade. So all Triple G has to do is beat one guy he's never fought and fight the winner of Jacobs Canelo, then he'd be undisputed, which is what he said he wanted anyway. But again, Dazn, they're not going to force him. They're going to make him fight, winners of the Change of Heart and all these shows and shit. All right, we'll see how it does. That's my time. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section.